Play. Thank you, first of all, for coming to the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
I don't take it for granted that you've made it.
Yeah, I've been trying to come for a while. True. I was waiting to come.
I know.
I want to finish that step.
The time I wanted to get you on the pod, Tom stopped me then because he had to get you on UG. So we didn't want to have the conversation at the same time. But now there's real purpose.
And now you have a new angle.
Yeah,
it comes out as a part two because the other conversation was before. This is after.
Yeah, exactly.
All different.
I also missed that was it a release party? You're doing something at Pasho?
Yeah, the release party. That's why we did the release.
Yeah, I missed that one. I was working.
It's okay, forgive
but I have been liking on Spotify and everywhere and leaving comments.
You're the place I used to see listening.
No, I'll start with that question that's very interesting in the album. Why play 01? Why not 2?
Why you have to be...
Let's start. Why play 01?
Because we sit properly in front of the mic. Why play 1?
Yeah.
So, I came up with this name a long time ago. I decided to... I remember I was struggling with names. If I tell you my old names, you just laugh. That I had names, just now I had names.
Yeah.
I remember because my brother went to SMAC. And when he moved to Mwiri, they used to call him SMAC. Because I was from SMAC and his name was Kisubi. So that's our family name, Kisubi. So the time I was like, man, my name should be SMAC. Because the smack as a word, like a slap, so it sounded cool. The time actually chose smack to be a name, like some months. But then, when I was really struggling with the name, I remember one time I just observed myself as a person, character-wise, and I realized one of the most consistent attributes about me is I just like to mess around, like to laugh around, I used to play around. So when I looked at my character as a person, the thing was I play a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a kid. This was me at 16. This is me at 16. As I knew I played around a lot. I was happy, always jams. I play around. Play is it. I play. Now this is why I chose 1. Now this is just being, when you're a kid, you're trying to do cool things. So I remember seeing a joke on some Nickelodeon cartoon, and they're talking about some slaves. I remember what slaves they were, and his name, they called him JJ. So yo, your JJ is like, no, it's actually JJJ. But the last J is silent. I remember laughing. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Like, hey, but a silent name. So what if I make my name have a silent whatever in it? And then at the same time, I remember Fabulous was struggling, telling people how to spell his name. It's not Fabulous, it's Fabulous.
Yes. I remember that.
Do you know that couple?
Yes.
All these things are going through my head at the time. Like, what if I give him a complicated name also? Which has some silent.
True.
Like, till now, guys, you say play 01. It's actually a whole conversation. So I actually went let's just go with play, or the O should be silent, 1. Except play 1, as in I'm the one play, but not like this, just make it dramatic.
Wait, so what's the right thing?
Play 1.
Play 1?
Yeah. To make sure I did that, I even made my Facebook name.
Why does play 01 sound so cool in my mind? Like play 01. No, it only sounds cool because it's like the best way you can explain it to someone.
It is. Somehow. Yeah, because it's better than 01.
Yeah.
That voice note was actually done by Nassim.
Yeah.
Nassim's on the same that voice note. And he sent it the day before I went to studio to close the production. So I'm like, I'm keeping it.
It was just random. Yeah, he thought about it and
I sent the artwork for Patio. And then he sees the artwork and that's his response.
Yeah.
He just complains about the name. I'm like, I'm taking this one. So and I think there's a time he's called me 01. Play 01.
I think Douglas also calls you 01. I was like, play 01 when one editing. So
I'm honest with you, I have never once called myself play 01. Never. Yet when I hear it, I'm like, I understand why they would say that. I don't understand how they say that.
Yeah. Urban TV all the time. I was listening. It was play 1. Then
you just stuck.
All the time as competing with Habo, as arguing with Habo on who had the best verse on Vuga Kampala that time.
Yeah.
It was almost play 1, but all the guys, like the local guys around, would be like play 01.
But me, I just kept it. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I just kept it.
Let's first go back to that verse. Vuga Kampala. Do you think that was the best verse? Of course, you're going to say yes. But what makes you think that was the best verse? To me,
let me say it like I think it's the best verse I could give. Let me say it like that. I don't think I could.
There's a part that confuses me. That 2016, I said in 2016.
In 2016, I wrote 2016s. 26 said I owned 2016.
Yes.
And I had to, do you know what's funny? I came up with that line around 2015. And I was like, I have to use this. I don't know where I was how to use it. It was waiting. I'm like, where am I going to use this? As soon as the album came, like, this is it. And I just did it. No, correction. I came up with it in 2016.
Yeah.
Well, Kampala came out 2017. So I was like, man, 2016 has passed. What am I going to remember? Like, it's 2016. I wrote, and that was it. So I had to now go backwards and say I wrote. You get those lines, you become happy and you just can't let go of.
It kept us going back to like that song, like let's go back to it.
There's a fallout, but I'm glad like me and Price talked that stuff out, because I guess there's a bit of fallout from people. I know people can influence. But like me and Price, like we had a conversation about it. Like right now we're like cool on 100, like it's.
Yeah, I think Price is cool.
Yeah, Price is cool people.
He's just missed out on aura.
He was one of the earlier verses. We'll talk about that. Just keep a segment for. I hope you noted that. Let me just.
I have my notes here. Let me just.
Make sure there's a segment for, because before I forget of what wasn't in aura. Just keep like a segment there, and there's.
That one.
If people knew what this process was.
Before we get to that process, Aura, let's talk about you and your involvement in music. You have been producing. Do you write for yourself?
Yes, I write all my songs.
And you compose?
And I produce like at least 80% to 90% of them. And I do that for others. And what's funny is I'm very, very refined, intentional with my choruses. So even those I write them. So even if someone else is singing, most of the time, unless I trust them enough and I have a creation block, so I just tell them, hi, do this, give it this energy, go. But most of the times I want to, sometimes I pen. Like Everything, the song with Navio and The Myth, the song, the 2016 song, I think. Everything, I wrote the chorus and I sent it to Sonny and she recorded it. Bulichiro, I just told Jay what's the kind of atmosphere I want. So sometimes I write, sometimes I explain and I let the person go. Like give it this atmosphere and then you go.
That actually answers so many of the upcoming questions. But now, how is it like to you? Do you like get a vision of like a song, or you get like a hum, or
these days it's different.
This question is mostly from Micah.
For Micah.
Micah is a frustrated guy who's going through like Bandali and all that situation going on. But then it has like I told you, I thought the beat was inspired from Beware. So I thought like you listen, because then I was trying to compare both messages. They're different.
Different messages.
These guys are really in some.
There are two ways I approach music. There are two ways. Sometimes it's the beat idea, sometimes it's the song idea. So those are the two ways. So for example, King's Wrath was the beat idea. I knew what I wanted the beat to be, so I focused on the beat first. Then a song like, which one is a song idea? Micah is a song idea. So even if the beat existed, I knew what type of song. I was circling around the song. So right now there are songs I want to create. I know the song, I just want to make a beat fit the song. So like I think half of the songs are at least song ideas. Chitisha Mogo is a song idea. Osaga is both.
But Chitisha Mogo is insane, man. Like
we'll get that. That Chitisha Mogo section there. I hope there's a section. I can tell you how that thing has its own story. So basically, sometimes I'd be like, for example, right now I had a concept called. I have two concepts. There's one which I probably won't record. So even if I talk about them, you guys can borrow it. Just pay me. We copyright this. Pay me. So there are two concepts I have, which I know I want. There's a concept I have of a conversation between a feminist and just a man. So it's two verses. One of the feminist perception, line by line.
I won't copy it, but
it's okay. It's okay. I'm giving you the rights. And then the male perspective, I wanted the lines to be almost close to what the female said, but from a male perspective and with a male opinion. So there was that. Then there's one about the millennial. I've forgotten what it was about, but those ones are just ideas around the song. Then those are where you have the song, then you just hope a beat can fit the idea. So that's the other perspective I get to it. And I think I'm lucky because we're like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 in Uganda rappers who are also producers.
Yeah.
I think me, Lagum, Dagmizo, those are the ones I can think of from the top of my head. So what happens is, for us, we're lucky that when we imagine a concept, you can attach a beat to it, and your concept just have to make the beat get close to your concept, and you feel it right, then you can imagine. But most guys have the lack of, you have the concept, then you go to producer and try to explain this and hope you can do something that matches. So actually, rappers,
it comes easier.
It comes easier because it's all happening here. So what happens is rappers. So rappers, I end up becoming producers in a way. Yeah. Many of them, they don't even know they're producers, but you always see rappers like, no, I want more harder kicks. No, I want more pianos. They start co-producing because they see it, but they can't.
You have to get involved.
Exactly.
You have to inventure it yourself.
Yes,
you feel
to
it.
Get what you want. Yeah, and that's
unless to somewhere it's mostly like business, and the. So to some it's like business, yeah. Like I don't think they want to be involved in the arts, and that explains mostly on the packaging as well. Like it's someone just has all this everything all together in there, and there's no story. As reading your tweet of some sense of gratitude, where you're talking about why you've given us this album,
yeah.
Like you just wanted the music to be out there without it being labeled into some
genres and whatnot.
So to some it's business, but you still did that with like a story. When someone listens to the album, they feel like they've given it time to the compositions, to who is featuring, to the beats, to Zalia featuring. They're like all that.
Let's not even talk about that detail. That detail was exhausting. What's funny is someone would think that making the song is the hard part. That's not the hard part. I was getting frustrated at the beginning of this year when I failed to get the right collection of songs. This album, technically,
7 years.
About 7 years technically, but just if you cut some years in between where I paused and worked on Gingerbread. But basically, I reached a point whereby do you not have an Excel sheet? Yvonne looked at the Excel. I showed Yvonne like a month or 2 ago. I was like, oh, here's my track list. And she looked at it and she was like, she has never seen anyone with an Excel sheet for an album list. Like I have an Excel sheet with songs, track location, production
status, formulas in there.
Everything
has got to sound.
Exactly. I'm like, now who is going to record it? I literally it was either Barrow or Sam. So I knew I was going to record it, who was going to mix it. It was all there. And then I struggled with which songs do I remove? Which song do I move here? The song arrangement. I reached a point I was starting to get frustrated because I'm like, now I have another amazing idea. Micah was one of the last. I produced a song long ago, but I didn't want to put it on. I didn't know I was going to record it. I didn't know I was going to make it. It was originally called Toyota, and I benched it.
Yeah, because it looks like it's in your campus life. Okay, not like campus, but in that life.
Honestly,
exactly.
It is. That's when I produced it. That's when the concept was, and then I just evolved and I made it a story of from back then. But I almost benched the song, but then I kept feeling like, first of all, I didn't. How do I describe this? This album had to be, for me, a Lusania. You need to eat and understand Kampala urban life in one vision. So which means I had to change, I had to flip, I had to change concepts.
But that looks like it has been your message, for some time now.
Yes.
Talking about Kampala urban life, you don't skip it. Yes. You add into the hustle and what we are going through, like all these. They're not like injustices, but unfairness. Like why you want me to have a Benz, a Corona, we're at the same age, all that stuff. It has been back from all that time. What are you trying to communicate in the music? With the music, what is it for you? Is it your way of is your superhero method? Like this is how you want to save some souls?
No, I'm not trying to save souls. It will be fine. Okay, so here's what I always thought. I looked at. I remember when I was in Germany, I met some guy.
Yeah.
He's half American, half German. And then we were talking about Keron. Not Keron, the Somali rapper. Did some song called Sobax. It was on FIFA.
Keron with Nas, right?
Down did a song with Nas, Keron, yeah. So I'm talking about
Waving Flag.
Waving Flag. How can I even forget? When I get exactly. So I'm like, Keron, that was after the World Cup. Now Keron was big. I'm like, yo, man, Keron is... Now, that's when the word real came to discussion. Like, my Keron is one of the dopest. Then this guy was kind of a crunk, trap, wannabe gangster energy. And he's like, man, Keron is not real. So I'm like, why would you say that? And it's like, man, Kenan's not real. He has never sold drugs. He doesn't do guns. And I'm like, that's why I started understanding this man's perspective of being quote unquote real is if you've done a gangster life and whatnot. But me, I think being real means being honest to who you are. So which means Kenan's just an African, Musama, more or less. So that's when I started rethinking everything. I started observing all these people's music. Look at UK, they talk about they have their slang, their naive shit and whatnot. You look at, if you look at America, every state, or as many as possible, have their own slang, they have their own experiences, they have their own stuff they talk about. And when I looked at UK, because I studied, actually, thank God I waited to release the album. I wanted to release this album in 2015, but I knew something was missing and I didn't know what it was. So I had to pause and get identity to it. I feel like I have lost identity because I remember those days I was rapping punchlines like certain guys like, yeah, you're a hard rapper.
You are just proving to yourself that you could rap, yeah?
You know, to myself and everyone like I'm a hard rapper. And guys were like happy. Guys talk about yo, play and rap. But I was like, nah, something's missing. The songs have no identity. They looked around at all Ugandan hip hop songs and I kept asking myself, why is hip hop now losing out? Why are they going more to Chidandali guys? The other guys have identity. Chidandali guys, because the good thing with Luganda is when you rap in Luganda, automatically you sound Uganda street.
Yeah.
You can sound street automatically.
You relate to so many.
You do easy to relate because that's how your border guy talks.
Exactly.
That's how your guy talks. Literally how they talk is how they rap. Now that's the difference. That's the exact same thing that happens in these other countries. That's how Americans do. That's how UK guys do it. That's how French rappers, because how they rap is how they talk because they're using their language.
I get you.
Now English, we didn't have that, yet we should. Nigeria has Pidgin English.
Pidgin, yeah.
I listen to South African raps, and then there's these guys like Questa and Pro.
Ghanaian Sakode.
Sakode, exactly. How you mix, how you actually talk to your people. So now I started thinking about it, like, but I cannot do it like that per se, but I can get a bit of it. Because when you get English rappers in Uganda, when they tried to rap in English, they ended up leaning towards sounding American, and they lost the Kampala identity. And then when they tried, they'd only choose things that are cool. And they'd be like Rolex.
Yeah.
And they're
just blending. Yes.
But I mean, how are you going to make me relate to your Rolex when you're talking about shooting guns? When you're talking about robbing, but you haven't robbed anyone. You know what I mean? Like, you're already just using a chopper to bring me to you doesn't work. You know what I mean? So that's when my thinking process started going deeper and deeper. And I just wanted to say, how can I rap in a way that sounds like that I'm your neighborhood guy? Just rapping. And I think that was my thing. So even when I chose themes, when I chose topics, it came from my album is defined by everyday life. The stuff I talk about, stuff I see,
all the time,
my samples. So yes, like that we have, like we're having conversation. It's not about the punchlines, about the themes, about the contents, about the topics. You know, like what do we do? What do we know? What do we like? It's just because I can say Waraj in a song doesn't mean I'm representing you. But if I say Waga, the guys who know Waga, they say like this pop Waga, pop Chikoko, Bandali Rise, and the weirdest.
That was also a bad bar, like the bar. I forget to do that. I got it, but yeah.
It was funny. What made me get into thinking? I once asked a guy, the word "gwe." Everyone uses "gwe"
somehow.
Anyway,
yes.
Why hasn't it ever been in a song? Explain to me why. It's literally our life. And that's where the question, that's why I had to use it. I was thinking about Tazono Saga. I think about a soldier.
Santana was here yesterday, so I was talking about Osaga with him. Yeah. He was telling me, man, like this project, that's it. He appreciates it.
That's my guy, baby. Like, I'll talk about that. That's like in the collabos. We'll talk about collabs. No, but I really thought, when I thought about Gwe, I was like, why? There have been hip hop has been in UG for 20 years. Why hasn't anyone said Gwe? That's our most normal thing. You can say yo, but have you ever spoken to someone like yo? You've said yo, man, but you never say yo. You never say hey. Unless it's chicks would be like hey, those things. So that's now the lingo. That's when the lingo.
But anytime a chick is passing Gwe,
like Gwe, man, check out that bird.
Exactly.
Like, that's the line.
Yeah.
That can literally be a full flow. That's why I like Adrenaline music. Adrenaline was rapping how we talked. That's why Benazeri was important. Benazeri was rapping how we talked.
Do you also think you're like the fastest rapper? Uganda, no, could not like on a global skier. Ugandan rapper?
I never thought I'm the fastest, but
I've not seen.
Rionga is close.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Rionga
Rionga can go long, but like things 2016, 16 that he.
Say for some nigga that watching the film the villains, the heroes, the niggas, the breaker, the cake man, and the machine watching them niggas that spit when you call it the steak, and the wake up with feeling I'm God, the bacon, and when they did them ask, my God did it. Hey, yo. Simple stuff. I think yes.
Yeah, my guy. I was looking for a guy to say that I'll put you on this guy and say no. And I thought I was on YouTube saying, no, this guy, this is a guy.
I don't know who's faster. At least in English, I don't know. At least.
Yeah, in English, it's you. Yeah, in Uganda, of course, the agent.
The agent. I
can go.
But I think it also comes down to how you rap, how you write.
Oh, okay. There's one Trill, I think, did fast rap.
Yes. Because it's Trill and Rionga, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. There's a time I actually wanted to do a fast rap song. Because
I remember telling Bush Baby that you missed out on Blood, Fire, Smoke. Like, they needed to add play on that song. Like, who'll be that guy to be on that song.
Hey, I missed out a full era, man.
So, still into the music before we go full board into Aura.
Hey.
The inspiration to you and your experience with like producing for other people. What are you trying to leave like legacy? Like, how do you want? Are you trying to like compose a Ugandan sound? Is there such a thing for you, and you sell it to all the music you're producing, like something unique? Like you see how almost all this new Nigerian music would sound the same somehow,
yes,
but it's all cool, yeah. But there's a sound you'd feel like you'll have to ask who's that guy, but he's from Nigeria. But who's that guy?
They all sound the same.
Yeah.
What I would say is though I would like to inspire a new approach to hip hop. I hope I would inspire a new approach to hip hop, because sooner or later I'm gonna stop. Sooner or later, but before that. You know that people join hip hop and
I can tell by auras, it's more like this is like legendary music. I'm doing this for everyone, and it's going to play all the time.
Yes,
you guys have.
Yes, that's literally what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Like, I was trying to make a blueprint. Come back and study, think about what you want to approach your next album. Because the fact is, people have listened to hip hop and used to be for years. So how are you going to do the next one? Why is the next one important? If the next kids come and they approach it the same way we've done for the last 15 years, let's face it, they're not going to outdo what was done in the last 15 years. So I'm just trying to spark, because I've literally just been observing and thinking. That's why I took time. And my whole thing is about identity and attachment to where you're from. Yeah. And I would hope to inspire the thinking process. I definitely cannot create a sound which can inspire. Creating a sound is close to impossible. You can because people are always going to follow the trends. You can just hope someone can listen, like, oh, I like how he did this, I like how they approached this. Today I was listening to Josie, trying to re-listen, because that music is so old. Josie, those South African kids. I listened to Motherland Crank again, trying to re-listen to the album. And those guys, I think, inspired the rest of Africa to sample African music in their hip-hop. Because I was listening that these were the first guys to sample local African music and put cool hip-hop beats on them. And I was like, okay, these guys they inspired the future. Because when Navio samples and all these guys now, they sample those local stuff, Ethan, all started probably with these guys. Okay, as far as my memory strikes, those were the first. That was like 2006 or so. So now I'm just hoping that we can inspire people to know it's okay to just talk for Uganda. It doesn't matter if your music is not for Uganda, talk for Uganda. And that's what's missing, because the fact is, the more you talk for Uganda, the more people are going to listen. You're going to represent. Kenya is doing good because guys are talking for KE.
That's how people understand our party life, and they want to our vibe thing. Like, we just have to keep talking about it in the music. And
the moment we have no identity, no one will care. If you look at any rapper who has grown, it's because he has an identity to him. This a shape to his music. So I think that's one thing people should really look into. Or rather, I hope I can inspire people to look into that. To just, like, you don't have to tell me, like, yo, play inspire me. I don't care don't say it. I don't need the flowers. I don't need that credit. I just hope someone can think and be like, I do not have to sound like a Nigerian to be dope. I don't have to sing with "oh" at the end of every, because now Ugandans are starting to do that nonsense.
Yeah.
My body, oh.
Like, a lot. Even the bigger guys who have already...
Imagine, you're made, but you're still trying to say...
It's crazy, yeah.
Dude, yeah, you don't have
like,
to say...
Like, how much can you want to show that we're in some sort of competition that's not even existing?
Like, yeah, Chris Brown can copy these guys. You see him copying, and I'm like, okay, guess you're trying to be relevant.
Yeah, like, yeah, you want to blend in.
You have to blend in. Okay, you can afford it. You don't need it, so you do you. But like for us, like, I would have tried so desperate to try to imitate.
Yeah.
And yet the fact is, we cannot imitate Nigerians. We are not Nigerians.
I agree. Now, again, from that very perspective, with most of your music,
yeah,
it's, I would get to know the verse, even in the beginning, without necessarily knowing you.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
like
yes.
it's
clear. About that.
Yeah. So, has it always been your intention to make the music bigger than you, or?
I think so, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: Monday to Friday. That's why I like comparing myself to Batman or Superman. Monday to Friday, I'm a different person. I'm not this man, and I deny in public. I was in a meeting today, and someone's like, "Hey, do you know this man's a big man?" I'm like, "Bro, not here, not in this room." So I try to do a Superman, Clark Kent kind of thing. Because my theory is there's no musician who can in Uganda who can convince me that they make music Monday to Sunday the whole day. It's a lie. You have so much time, and that's why I think the other time that's why I'm Clark Kent. The other I was trying to live my other life. So I never intended for my face to be, and that's funny is actually when I was coming from Nyege, I was with a friend of mine in a car, and he had these two girls. I was giving us a ride. This recent Nyege, and he's like, "Yo man, play me some of the music of yours I haven't heard," because he had my other stuff. He had had someone in a coma. I was like, "Play me another song."
Yeah.
So I play Osaga, and then one of the girls is with in the back starts rapping the song. She's like, "Mujoga." I'm like, "Oh shit, she knows it." That's when someone in the car told her like, "Yo, that's his song." She's like, "What? That's the guy." I'm like, Spider-Man telling him, don't tell him my identity. No, so honestly, I do not want to be the face, because I still have a life to live. I have things to have, meetings I want to go to.
Yeah,
I do not care about the face. I just want to enjoy the music.
And enjoy it. Yeah. Just the message out there.
Plus, I get awkward when people treat me some kind of way.
You don't want to get into there and feel like the whole superstar thing.
I was at a Zoom meeting, serious people, and the first thing this guy says is, "When are you going to give us another one?" I'm like, "God damn it. I'm trying to be undercover. Don't snitch on me, but that's what I do." So yeah.
The easiest question. What's the inspiration for you?
What's my inspiration? Life, existence, things around me.
That's like the philosophical thing. You put it in the lyrics.
Yes, like I think if I stayed indoors without TV for a year, I wouldn't make a song or come up with any idea. That's how I can describe it. It's things that happen. It's stuff I see that inspires my music. It's the stuff. Like I can probably say I'm a product of my environment. What happens around me equates to my music. Like when I was studying, when I was in German, my raps were inspired by struggle. The struggle of keeping up with bills and taxes, campus hustle. So that was my inspiration. That's what I used to rap about. And now I have a whole different
You killed all that music. Not like killed, but you ignored it and just... I
tried to quit. Then I just benched it. Because now it had a different tape. Even when I listen to it right now, I released a tape called Flashback Friday. Yeah. It's an audio mark. And you can tell it's a whole different mind behind it. That's because I was facing a whole different life. It's not that I got rid of it. I just had a whole different perspective. I was in a whole different environment, looking at different problems.
So when you came here, you felt like you could just engineer new stuff for here?
Yes. Yes, but of course I had to stop so that my brain can immerse itself completely in my new problems.
True.
Then I got the new problems, I got the new topics.
That makes sense. Now, let's talk about the album.
Wow.
What's the process? How was it? Like, how do you start? Like, tell me about how you start, get it together. We'll of course go deep into the finances. How much did you have to invest in it? Do you hope to get that back? But the process, the struggle, the producers, how you blend with them, your whole experience with the album. how you get to like the Zalia, how that comes about.
Okay, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think if I talk about the whole album as one, then you can get me on the details.
Yeah.
Overall, when I thought of doing an album, I knew what emotions I wanted to create. When I thought of an album, I didn't want it because when I listened to Gingerbread and I like my last one project, and I liked it, but it was about 7 to 9 songs, 7 somewhere there, and I felt like it was a nice peek into what I can do musically, but it wasn't an album. It didn't feel attached. The songs didn't feel like they owed each other. It didn't feel like it was one project. It just felt like a good collection of songs, a sample. This is who I am. So when I thought of an album, I knew what emotions I wanted to depict. I knew I had a checklist of emotions to go through. I knew I wanted people to feel going through this. So knowing what emotions I wanted to go through, the point became, how do I define these emotions? So how do I define the emotion of love?
Yeah.
Now, love is always going to be the easiest thing for most musicians to make. So there's always a go-to. Nkwagaranyo, my baby, there's always that go-to.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm sure it's easy. Right now, at this particular moment as we're recording this, I bet there's someone in the studio right now in Kampala singing about love.
People are always in their feelings.
Exactly. So it just comes out almost naturally. Yeah. Also, they're lying to themselves because they're just trying to vibe a chick.
Yeah. True.
So when I thought about love, I think the two girl-directed songs of that album are nice, and so many ways. Nice. Now, nice. Remember I was telling you about that thing of concept meets a song directed by a concept. That song, I wanted to just describe a girl using common girls. She's actually an angel like Malaika, you know, eyes like whatever. So that was the concept. So that one was easy because it was directed by that. But I knew it wasn't going to be the love. It was more like vibing a girl. So when I thought about love, I prepare the slots in my head. You want love, you want to rap, you want something on depression, you want something for God, you create the slots.
I now see it.
Exactly.
The God song as well is lit. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday. I'd gone with them to Fanera. I was telling them, I played them the song.
God's favorite.
Yeah, it's God's favorite.
Yeah.
So I told them this is the music they should be playing. Fellowship. No, it's Ugandan music. You're not playing influence music, but it's the music you have to blend with, and it's our music, and it's produced by this guy. Yeah. They liked it. They liked the song. It's good. They liked it. Of course, it's not like they just maybe don't have like access, but we'll go to that in like the distribution bit of the conversation. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I create the slots in my head, right?
Yeah.
And I want to fill in these slots musically. Then I wait. Then I live. And that's also why it takes long. So I just live life well aware of what I want to do.
Yeah.
So while I'm living my life, for example, it was 2019. I was doing a job with a friend of mine for Remy Martin. Went to Nairobi, and then we're shooting. Then I came a day late. So the day before, they were with King Kaka in studio, and they're singing this Nyashinsky song, and they are all singing. And I'm like, wow, this is so dope. How do you have like 8 people on one video singing a song together? So now my brain was like, that's the love song I want to make. So right, so now the slot starts getting defined. Like, how do I make a love song that people can sing? That means I now have to, if I make a love song, I don't have to overrap. I have to sing like a normal man sings. So they singing for not everyone does that. I have to sing like how we can all sing.
True.
Exactly. So now
you want to impress some babe and a random day, but you're not singing.
Exactly. So like I got those 2 slots for some. Now I'm trying to define the slots. I'm like, okay, what would be unique? That's when I did not know how it happened. I don't remember the stroke of what happened, but I just decided, how do you say I love you in all your languages? And I think that's where it started from. As soon as I got that part out, I thought a song about I love you in so many languages. I met Julius end of the same year. Julius Sese, when we were doing the show with George the Poet. Yeah. George the Poet was around.
It was also crazy. Yeah. Like
but no things aligned. Sometimes I really feel like, I don't know if you're a Christian, but I feel like
I'm Christian.
This album worked by God's will in its way.
True.
Because imagine that. I thought about the process, right? And then I got called to do the show with George the Poet. At George the Poet's show, I met Julius Sese. And during those times when we were vibing, I was like, I have this idea of a song that goes like this. and it's about saying I love you in so many languages. It's like, wow, that's cool. And that same event, I also met George the Poet. We were cool, and I think a week or two later, we finished George the Poet's project, and then next year we came back to finish Julius's project. Yeah. So like that all just happened during our
and this is like would be the perfect testimony to give like existence and how things connected.
If I told you about the last month of the album, if I told you how things connected, like me, I'm not trying to be a Christian, but I really feel like I'm not trying to preach. I feel like God was like, do this. This is it. Like, things were moving so extremely. I was like, yo, like I legit ran out of money at a particular point, and I got a WhatsApp message, hi, I'm adding you this amount of money to deliver this free on us. I'm like that's how crazy it was. Like I don't even go into it. Know like God had my hand.
It happened.
It happened.
Things happened.
Yeah. So basically that's how every song came up. I had the slot empty. I just waited for life to fill it in for me. And when life happens, my brain, because I'm one of those, that's what I'm saying, I'm like I'm a producer, rapper. My brain is always working.
So the creation, the involvement is top notch, really.
Yes, like I can literally go and drive back home, I listen to music, and my brain starts working. So just like right now, for example, the next album is already being written in my head.
You said you produced a beat to my car 2012.
Yeah. I produced it 2012. Who inspired me? I don't remember who inspired me, but I made it a long time ago. But back then I wanted this song to be called Toyota. I didn't have a car, of course. So that time it was going to be a song about a man's first car. Yeah. That's what the song is going to be about. And I produced it 2012. I sent it to someone on email. I'm like, yo, should write a song called Toyota on this. I sent it to some guy called Chris Beats, a friend of mine. We didn't use it. I kept it to an email on my Yahoo emails. And then 4 years ago, I started trying to dig those emails out, and I find the beat there.
How did you know that you'd still be as consistent? You'll still be about this. You chose the music. You're in it for but you're not. You're doing other things.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know I'd be. Music is a part of my life, man. Like it's. Even if I stopped selling music,
you still
be playing piano or something, because I've been practicing my piano because I just want to play piano just for the hell of it at home.
So your production also involves you engineering the sound itself?
I used to. When I was in Germany, I used to, but then I didn't want to be that guy who does everything, because think about it. I write the song, I produce the song, record the song, I shoot the video, I edit the video, grade the video, I do the graphics. I was like, I need to give someone work somewhere along this line. So when it came to music, I stopped the engineering before I became really good at it. I stopped, I handed it over to someone. Now video, I'm still anal with it, but I just detailed it. But I said, you know what? I still need someone to be behind the camera, so I left that slot empty. I need to give someone work in the pipeline. Can't do everything.
Do you sing with video concepts? Do you write, do you compose and know my video will come out like this, or the visuals are something you leave for later and you first focus on the music and how it's going to sound and how we're going to take it in and relate to it and to it the music before the visuals to sell?
I don't detail the videos, but what I can tell you for certain is if I listen to a song and I don't have emotions and I don't release it, I don't like it. So the song has to have an emotion, right? So let us say Osaga. When I created that song, I had to get that Togo face, so my head was. And
the real put Santana, like the whole face of that.
Exactly. That's what you call So as soon as you get that face, right? So you have the emotion. Next step, the video has to look like that face. That's how I can describe it. So while I do not know the video, but it has to feel like what I feel in that moment.
Have you started shooting any videos?
Yeah, Zinga is going to be out soon.
Who's shooting Zinga? I should tell you, I'll send you some of the videos we have produced.
You're supposed to.
We found to equip.
You should shoot my car.
Kenneth.
Yeah. You should shoot
Exactly. I'll send it to the team. Definitely. Now that you've given me the permission.
No, definitely.
We'll get your concept name. No. Well, I'm even going off script because still in the album. Because in the publishing, you're still involved.
Publishing.
You're still doing all that yourself. Not like Aura. It needs like to really get out there.
Yeah,
it's music you don't want to
sit on.
Yeah, really, honestly.
I'm doing as much.
Must know it.
I'm doing as much as I can, but I'm also getting some help.
Okay.
I'm getting some help. I am doing a couple of tricks that I don't, not tricks, but some moves I don't want to snitch right now. But I'm getting as much help as I can.
Because you see, I just learned yesterday at Joshua Baraka on the pod. So before I was coming on the pod, I had a friend here who just randomly told me Empire had signed him up to like distribute the music. That's why the EP was trending #1. I'd wondered like, is it just a team? Empire thing signed him up. So he said Sheila Gashumba connected him to some people and stuff like that. Nice. So it worked out. Now, I was wondering, like, was that because I saw a trend, like he released the EP, it was topping charts.
Wild, yeah, it went wild.
So I thought that was like one man's work. I was gonna ask you, like, are you ready, like, to put in the work? Are you going to get like influencers, stuff like that for this music? But still,
it's not. No. If I could get distribution help, I'd probably get it. And I actually had the opportunity of getting a distributor on the project. I actually started a conversation, but then the time and I had to move fast, so we didn't get to it. So we'll probably work on the next album. Yeah. But it's honest to distribution. Having a distributor is a good idea. It's necessary. But like I told a couple of people, my thing with this project is I created it so detailed, and all I asked for, I was talking to Bomano before I released it, like then a week before. I told him what I'm trying to achieve. And I told him, man, all I need is 30 people to listen to it from front to back and get it. That's all I need, 30 people. And that's why I wrote that thing, actually. I asked for 30 people. And I think you got
more than that.
I got a lot more.
You got about 8 from here because we're listening to it back from back.
For real.
From, I think, when you told me, when we're working out, really, we've been just playing it.
The question is so here I already have 8 in this house. I know at the office I already have about 10.
Here you have like 15. The guys I work out with are like 8 plus the guys that edit all the time. I've been playing it for like a week straight. I think
that's crazy, man.
But it's a vibe. Honestly, you play it and you have to come back to it. Like you go to a song and it's interesting. That brings in the question: how did you pick the collabos? There's so many people on the album.
There is so many people. Again, I go back to the part where I'm lucky that I produce my own songs.
And how do you sell them the vision? Like, did you also tell them how you want?
Oh yeah. Okay, some people want a script. And I'd be like, no, not so far. I can do something. It's okay, so it's like a dog. I'm like, no. Come back. No, okay.
Santana must have gone so far and brought him back because he was very excited.
I have a feeling Santana was going to go too far. Santana is like that dog you have to explain, like, he's like that. He does that. He just like, come back, just that. No, but there are guys who are good when they go wild. Yeah. So when you set on the vision, you have to know how wild they're going to get. There's some who go off and you're like, God damn it, you know? So when I chose these collaborations, like I said as a producer, when I was producing the song, I was trying to see whose voice. Because I imagine the people, like I keep saying, I look at people's voices, I hear them as instruments. So I hear, that's why I look at even the samples I use, be it Brian White's, it fits in that energy perfectly. You can even forget that it's a sample. Or if you hear even I'm on holiday, like there's where they fit the pacing. I treat them as instrumentals, to the beat. So even when someone raps, he has to come in right. So for example, Santana, I had the beat, I felt the anger. I know Santana's range because I've known him for a while, for a long time.
In school, I think, together.
No, we were in Ginger together. So we grew up in Ginger, but pretty much back in the day. So I knew exactly how he would feel. I knew what he likes doing. And I know how he likes singing. And I know this beat, knowing the brand right thing, you get excited. And me, I do not know whether it's because of my other raps. I don't know what it is. But I'm happy that everyone who was like, play, gets me on the song. Oh, sad. I'm going to eat. Like, everyone who came on the song brought their A game. Like, I was excited. Every verse I had, I didn't have to get worried. Because selling the dream now, I tried to be, as producer, detailed. I told the guys on Kampala, the homie Denesi, I told them, ask Denesi what tribe are you? Told me Uganda. I'm like, this is against my plan. Because the song was supposed to be a song of immigrants, quote unquote immigrants.
Yeah.
Guys from out of Kampala moving into Kampala. That was the original concept. But then he's like, okay, but I guess we could use an internal voice of Kampala than the guys from outside. That would give a very different perspective. One from Ginger, one from the West, one from Kampala. So, okay, let's do that. It will work. And I just tried to explain to them, this is a class song. Come as comfortably as you can. And you start explaining the details. Big Ben was the one who also got a bit off script. Because Paul, I usually like it to be my calm song. Like it's fun, but it's calm. Because I try not to. That's the one song I'll never over rap.
Yeah.
There's the Paul 2.0, I also didn't over rap. Paul 3.0, I'm gonna make it. I won't over rap. I'll calm down. I told Ben, it's a calm song. Rap, be happy, make it memorable. What did Ben do? And I was like, God damn it. But it's dope though. It's dope. It's dope. Yeah, exactly. It's dope. I like, but it's dope though. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep it as it is. And Navi didn't need any word. Navi just went off. Shamant, Zalia.
Yeah.
Zalia was...
Let's talk to me about Zalia.
Zalia was...
I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to tell you it's my best song, but it's the one I think I've played the most. If I'm to check. Yeah. Like I go back to it. Yeah. Of course, my car, I go back to so many. Osaga, I'd started listening to Osaga way back.
Yeah, because it's a bit older.
Yeah. So that one I knew. Kampala I still had. But yeah, Zalia and of course Kenneth Mugabe. Chichamogo has been crazy in the morning.
The first time I had the final version of Zalia, I shouted. I jumped around the house.
It's dope. That's how you feel when you listen to Zalia. Like I was telling this guy, that's a Ugandan song. I was playing it to niggas here. That's a Ugandan song.
I've never been excited for a song. I can't explain it. I was there, even when I was jumping, like, look at my song, like, why am I jumping? This is my song. No one gets excited like this for their own song. But the process to get there, that song took about 6 months to 1 year to finish. It took about a year to get there.
It's that beautiful. I'll tell you what, it will live to show that it took you that time to produce it. Right. Yes, it will live like that.
Because what happens is I produced the first beat. I produced the first song, and it was that Lingala. Okay, the drums, there were no guitars at the time. Just drums and the trap verse. The chorus was just drums, that African active feeling. Now that's what Navio had, that's what Viper Ranking had, that's what we recorded too, and we worked good. Then I called Viper Ranking to record a chorus, and we did a chorus. And it was fine. And I think that's where my problem comes. I'm kind of a perfectionist. It was fine. The version we had could have gone out and would have been fine. And Sam was even starting to master. I told Sam, wait, this isn't it. I went and talked to one of my guys. I'm like, man, something is off. Listen, I've done this a lot of times, by the way. I don't think many artists do this much. But I listen, I'm like, no, this isn't it. What do we need? I told him, I think I want Shaman. Got Shaman's phone number. I hadn't met him before. I called him. I reached out to him, like, I need something on this. He told me to send him the beat. He recorded the demo. I took it to him, like, this is what I'm thinking. He's like, all right, let him record. He recorded, now we had the chorus. Yeah. Now I was happy with the chorus. Yeah. There are no guitars yet. Now I took it to someone, I was like, this is a good chorus. Someone's like, yeah, but something's missing. We need guitars. At least in the chorus, make a kind of transition from the verse to the chorus. Now, Shaman,
some understand you so well like this, like, I will get sad. It feels like by the time someone real feels, because the guitars are, they made this whole thing.
The guitars what made it. That's the guitars made it. Yeah. And at first, like, if you had that version, I think people would have been like, okay, it's fine, this is fine. Again, we literally upgraded from like 40%, now we are at 70% of what it is. Yeah. And still people, any artist would have been fine and released it. But someone was like, we need a transition. It sounds like two different songs. I told Shama, we need some guitars. Now, keyword, some guitars. Shamat, I don't know what you, like, that dog we're talking about, come back, the dog that goes off. Shamat said, like, okay, see, I can do what I want. Okay. That man went and put all the guitars. He put African guitars, he put rock guitars, like, he put everything. So what his idea was, the rock guitars are for the verses. Yeah. Then he adds the African guitars to be the transition from the verse to the chorus. Yeah. Then the chorus to the African. Then he went and sang his voice off. I listened to the song, I was jumping. No, there's no African song like that.
Gets you, like it starts, then it gets you, then it just hypes you. Like I just want people to listen to it so much.
That's the one song I'm most proud of my whole life. Because the ingenuity is too original. I'm most proud of that song. Like there's no song I've ever made that.
That's why I've loved it the most.
Yeah.
Now I've made up my mind. It's my best song. Now I've made up my mind.
Nice.
It's crazy. Then Kenneth Mugabe, the Echoes. How do you blend with him like that? Have you worked together before?
Yes, we actually worked in another song.
He really nails all his collabos. Yeah, I've also seen with what he did with Isabel's album. The collab with her is crazy. Yeah,
it is amazing.
So,
but wait,
I was looking. You know, his music is really dope. Like, we've listened, we've appreciated. But usually, some people always don't get it with others. But then I've listened to him and Isabel, and now you, and he gets it. Like he's there. And with you, it was so crazy. I had to text you and I was listening to that song. And then this is it. That was perfect. That was pure, really.
Now that one was recorded by Baru. That was an interesting one. When we recorded the song, we recorded a song before, which I won't snitch, but it's also coming. When we finished that, like, okay, cool, we're good. Then I told Kenneth, I have another idea. Now, my idea came when I was thinking about it. I was inspired, honestly, by some Elton John song. Yeah. So I thought about Kenneth again, I thought about myself. And my idea was, imagine a song.
Really, if you're inspired by Elton, the first person you'd think about now is Kenneth. That's it.
I see that. Now you see. Yeah. So when I thought about it, I was like, imagine a song that when you hear Kenneth's part, Kenneth is 100% Kenneth.
Yes.
Then you hear my part and it's 100% me. Yeah. But now there was a question. Rappers can usually adapt to any beat. And that was fine. But I was like, no, that would kill the difference.
The Kenneth thing.
The Kenneth thing. That would be normal. So I was like, I have to make my part very, very hip-hop. As hip-hop as I had 808s, monotone keys, very hard hip-hop. Then make Kenneth's part as Kenneth and calm as possible. And then just find a way of transitioning to both. So I made sure I started the song very slow and calm. So I guess who they listen to an emotional Kenneth song. Then when you come, I'm like, are you good? Are you good now? Okay, so anyway, back to my part. Then I had to go really hard hip hop.
Also the message, it's very muscular, right?
Yeah, it just found itself. I don't even know how it came. The messages. Those are the songs that I write without thinking. And I'm just emotional about them.
Wait, you came up with because Chiticha Mongo sounds so Kenneth Mugabe.
Yes, like, he came up with that. He came up with that in the studio. He came up with that. My verse just fed off of what he did. Yeah. So I listened to what he was doing. I'm like, okay. And then I swear I did not think what I was writing. Sometimes I write like that, like just my emotions. Right. I do not be thinking about punchlines. I just speak from my heart and it just happens. Like, that's another song.
But with Muga Kampala, you're out to the punchlines. You had to prove a point.
You put me on a collab, I know guys are going to be like, what to keep? I'm like, dude, I don't fear collabs these days because guys treat you some way, man. Nice. Yeah, I had to go for that. There's a part in Muga Kampala which will always hurt me because I know many guys missed it.
Yeah. Which one? I didn't miss it. I listened to that verse a lot. I didn't miss it.
The part about the schools, where I use the schools as a setup. You see, you missed it.
No.
I saw you had it on the city. You mock in me, speak in eulogies, and speak in UCE when you UPE when you CE. Tell him I got the.
I had a whole session. Her boy explained it to me that. Actually, let me tell you, if all the times I was with Habo, we're going about your verse, not his.
I don't
think it's good
to that's good people, by the way.
We're going about your verse, like this guy, because I didn't know you then.
Yeah.
So, but then I knew him. I had gone through his verse. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Now all the time we're going, but this guy, man, this guy, what does it? You see, because we're now comparing his punchlines and how it was like missing us with the like national ID Jen Musisi. Like this thing is. Somebody plays Jen Musisi like
then I went to Tinder. I remember that.
So I was thinking about this verse, so that you see that's cool stuff. I didn't miss it.
But no one has ever talked about it. Like, you guys are passing on bars. Yeah.
But you really, how do the bars come about? Because even where do you sing about Bandali? Is it in my car?
No, Bandali Zinge.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Video coming soon.
That's it. Zinge at Bandali Rise, yeah.
Punchlines. On punchlines, you just get lucky. No, you don't get lucky. Okay, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you think and they come. I can't explain punchlines. All I know is that your punchlines should come in the language you're most conversant with. That's why if you're best in Uganda, your best lines will come in Uganda. If you speak English best, your best lines will come in English. So just hope for them to come out right. I just keep thinking. Some lines find you when you're just walking. The times I do freestyles and I come up with something.
Do you if you're just walking, let's say you're in the car and lines come up, do you pull out your phone and record?
I try.
Don't forget.
I try.
Or everything that comes to you, you'll remember.
I hope I tried. Those lines, if I don't write them down in 5 minutes, they are gone. Yeah. And I'll curse. And I'll curse.
Oh, yeah. You
But when I think I have notes. I have notes in my book. I try to really note down as many as possible. Let me see if I even have one over here. As though the best lines come when you're not ready. Let me switch on. This inside of me, I'm piloting inside of shit like it's side of me. That's a stupid line. Nightmare on Elm Street, the losing sleep to kill your dreams. Things like that. I'm always, the lines just find you on the go.
In terms of in your mind, your mind space, what content do you consume most? What content between now and from way back to let's say at 8, your understanding? From childhood, what content has informed your perspective mostly with life? Have you been listening to a lot of Tupac, maybe Jay-Z, whoever, movies, a niche of content that that this directed my English, this directed how I want to sound or I want to talk, then how this directed my production, Dr. Dre probably, stuff like that, his work.
Now this is where it gets interesting. I get bored with normal very quickly. Someone wants to call me talented. I don't think it's that I am talented. Okay, I don't have many talents. Yeah. And I think I have one talent. And my talent is kind of mimicking. It's easy for me to look at something, copy and learn it. And so if I look at something long enough, I'll understand it. And if I get it,
you'll do it.
I'll do it. And if I do it long enough, it becomes too easy. Then I need the next thing. That's
because that's your explanation on learning how to rap. You can just sit between the line, yeah?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it will be easier for you. You said on SoUG, you said you learned how to rap because you could see Bow Wow rap and you're
so I can
just do this.
Yeah, that's how it happened. Yeah, that's how it happened. Yeah. So the more raps I had, the easier it became. So the only part I struggled with, even when writing choruses, producing music, everything is because that's why I said I'm influenced by my environment. Yeah. The more I see, the more I can implicate. The more I see, the more I can duplicate, and I can learn off of. So, what kind of content I took in kept changing, because I kept getting used to some things. I think that's why J. Cole was an interesting find for me. See, I got bored by normal rap. I got tired of listening to Jay-Z. I used to listen to mainstream. Honest, I won't lie. I didn't listen to many albums when I was young. I used to watch mainstream. The albums my brother got the ones I used to listen to. Yeah. For example, I liked Bone Thugs and Harmony because I couldn't rap like that, and I wanted to. I think that's why I started rapping fast, because I wanted to rap like Bone Thugs, and they were fast. But then I got the rest of the other rappers. I figured it out and became easy. But except Bone Thugs were fast. That was special to me. Then I started looking for guys with interesting flows. That's why I think I liked Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole was outstanding because J. Cole was one of the first rappers with a simple flow, but the lines kept me hooked and I didn't understand why.
Very relatable in a very
simple.
It's you and it's the reality.
No one is lying to you.
You're
not struggling. Yeah. Kendrick was he was doing too much. That's why I liked him. But then J. Cole was go world, make world for the chosen one. And it was just so simple, but I could listen. Now that's actually when I started really working on my punchlines, because I realized I did not have to be too animated, too graphical. I can just sound on point and make a point, and someone can still listen. So musically, I kept grabbing from any rappers. As a rapper, I just kept changing.
You had to keep knowing like the trends still,
Yes, I think that's why even when you listen to my raps, they keep switching.
Yeah.
Because even my raps, I never let one verse be flat out.
Exactly. Thank you.
I keep switching.
As I thought I was going to like bring it up in like, did you get that from like Kendrick?
No, that
wanting to do so much to show people that you can actually do this so much and then go back because you do that a lot,
Exactly. I think No, because I'm trying to. It's like I guess I'm trying to please everyone with my verses. So I want that part of the verse where if you like flow, I'll give you the flow. Are you satisfied? Okay, you have punchlines. You're next. Boom, there's your punchline. You like it? Okay. You have the musicality. Who likes things that are catchy? I give you that part. Good. Yeah. Okay. Now there's your verse. So that's why my verses keep changing. Also, I think personally I get bored if the verse just sounds the same all the way through. That's why I struggled listening to Common. Yeah. I want Common is dope, but I got tired of the same thing. You see, Kanye passed because there's where Kanye made his lines nice. But Common just sounds the same. She was Santana. So my brain got tired of the repetitive and simpleness. Again, that's why J. Cole was special. Because J. Cole was simple, but for some reason you kept wanting to listen. That was the difference. So me, I just wanted to make a verse like, I can't have anyone give up on my verse halfway. I have to make it switch up. If you get tired of I have to keep you listening.
Do you see yourself as a Kanye since you mostly engineer the whole music yourself?
Of late, I think so.
With the art, forget the character and all this other stuff. Just the art.
You have to do it like that.
Art. I strictly the art.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Actually, of late, I've started realizing that I might be like a Kanye. Because when I look at Kanye's albums, I realize he has never repeated his style. Especially after graduation, every album sounds different. And I realize that's me. Every song I want to do something different.
The thing is, I'm not just saying this because you're in the pod, but I listened to the other album and this, and it's totally different. And this is so far away from the other. And
I did the same thing recently. I'm like, sometimes I used to listen to Gingerbread a lot, and I liked it. Then I listened to this new album, it was finished. And I'm like, and then I tried to go back to Gingerbread. I'm like, levels then changed. I didn't even realize.
Till you can just reconstruct yourself and do it
easy.
Is this how it has been even with life? You living in Germany, and I'm here. Okay, Ginger, Kampala. You had to leave Ginger to come to Kampala to record.
I had to adapt to every step of my life. Okay, so first of all, I was born in Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
My mom, I studied in Ginger/Iganga while doing holidays in Nairobi. VAC, I was doing VAC in Maseru, South Africa. And then afterwards go to Germany. So I was always trying to fit in. No matter what point in my life, I was always trying to fit in. At the same time, I was keeping getting shown different cultures and different things, which is actually a good thing, which I like.
Good thing. So much exposure.
Exactly, because I kept seeing new things. I started... let us say, originally, like I said, it's like mainstream hip-hop mostly. Then I went to SA, and I got exposed to house and rock music. I'd never cared for rock music. I thought rock music was the devil's music. Good times, I thought rock music was the devil's music. I thought house was weird and white. But then it was, house is pretty much the backbone of Amapiano, the South African house. So back then, I have one of my best friends back in the day. His name is Amitai.
Yeah.
He was black, African like us. But then I meet this guy in South Africa, and he doesn't even care for Jay-Z, doesn't know hip-hop at all. Being in Maseru, in Southern Africa, he didn't care for dancehall, reggae, nothing. They were just house, and for him, rock music. And me, I'm hip-hop, and my Ugandan dancehall. Yeah. But we became best friends. That was kind of weird. So now we hung out for like a year or two straight. Then we somehow switched cultures.
Yeah.
By the time I left, he was listening to Jay-Z. I was listening to Linkin Park and house. And I've never left house since then. Till now, listened to Linkin Park till whatever passed. But now that was helped me because now my mental content perception changes.
The exposure now I can really see it in like the production and the intellect.
Yeah. And then of late, again I got bored with music in COVID. Then I started listening to. I once Googled. I had K-pop, Korean pop, right? One time I was curious. I'm like, what's is that J-pop? Japanese pop. I Googled and I found 100 plays. I'm like, what is a real thing? So I played to find something.
How do you know? Okay, you feel the beat and the language. Would you understand Japanese?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's such a strong language. But what happened is when I played that thing, I found a song which ended up being one of my favorite songs of 2021. It's in a band called Radwimps. Now the thing is, it came with a music video. I think that's why I understood it. It was a 7-minute long video, and I shared it on Facebook too. And everyone gave me the same thing I said. You don't understand what they're saying, but for some reason you feel what they're saying. The video, the emotion, the whole production.
Which song has given me that feeling?
Any South African song?
Yeah, it's part of the South African song. Yeah,
you don't know what they're singing, but you feel it. Even Sauti Sol songs, you feel right.
That's it.
You feel right, but you don't know exactly what they're saying.
I think closest to Uganda who has done that is Chameleon with the Swahili. You just feel, but you'll usually blend in the Luganda and you'll. Chameleon,
by the way, OG Chameleon. We always loved and understood him, but we felt him, but never understood his words.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, because that's when I realized. Because remember, Untitled Myth was like, who commented on that thing was like, man, what I say, you don't even understand what they're saying. And I'm like, dude, it's the same thing with Sauti Sol. That's why I gave him the example. Because I realized that sometimes music, like I keep saying, it's the sound of emotion. If you just listen, you will feel it. You'll feel it. And sure.
That's it. First, it's actually the emotion, yeah? Like the sound speaks to the emotion first, then you'll take all the interest into all the stuff, yeah.
Like you don't know why you feel what you're feeling, but depending on how they sing and how they produce the song, you'll feel something. You get angry, you'll get sad, whatever, but the emotion. And that's why I keep saying, when I produce my songs, it has to feel right. Osaga. I have a friend, an American friend, he was in Japan at the time, listened to Osaga, he's like, man, I don't know what this song is saying, but Osaga, I've learned Osaga. I'm like, hey, that's what it is.
Who had to feature on part 1 of Aura that didn't?
Who had to feature?
But who do you feel like,
honestly,
they must have, but it's not like, and this is no disrespect to everyone.
No, it's okay,
like,
it's okay,
everyone is like 100%. Yeah, but who, like, do you feel like, okay, maybe a part 2, this is a must?
Okay, so what happens is, when I was getting new and new ideas the closer I got to release date, right?
Yeah.
Keep getting new ideas. So I ended up moving some pieces and separating the album into 2. It was supposed to be one album. I was supposed to just do one album. But because of how many songs and ideas I kept coming, I had to separate into 2 because I think I had reached, right now I had recorded a total of up to 20 songs maybe. And then I realized I can't release, no, there were like 23, I remembered. There's some others were like 23. I realized I can't release all this, so I started chopping some off. And then others are like,
who did you chop? Let's start there.
I'm not going to say why I chopped off. I'm not going to say why I chopped off, but I can say why I postponed.
When can you say that chopped off?
So your boy. This isn't drink chops, I'm saying. No, man. I'm not going to snitch why I chopped off. But I postponed some. I moved them to part 2.
This is the best for last. Okay, no disrespect.
Yes.
You're not saying the best.
Yeah, the next last year. Like we were working on a song with APAS, and every time I thought about it, I didn't chop it. I postponed it. And when I thought about
oh my god, now that you mentioned APAS, yes. First of all, you are like together, like how is he missing? Exactly.
He didn't really, I just postponed it because I realized if I was to put where does, first of all, choosing singles is going to be another thing. And I'd already chosen the singles of this album. That song wasn't going to have a single space in this album. It has to be a single, it have to be on the next album, so it can be stand out to the next album. So that got postponed. The others, the Waiki Band are here, Rionga there.
Oh yeah, Rionga. I was going to talk about Rionga.
Those also postponed to part 2.
I want you to greatly work with Isabel. I think her music will blend with yours somehow.
I've had the conversation. I've had the topic. I don't know. Besides you, there's someone else who literally told me
to be like someone you have to work with.
Yeah, definitely.
The packaging is all like good. You'd appreciate.
Hey, if I did a song with Isabel, how she guys would be finished? Now that I think about it, Jesus. So I did a song with Isabel.
Ninja C rapping. You don't have female rappers featuring on here.
Someone Cleo was supposed to, but then the album got full really quick. Because there's a part where there's supposed to be some appearances. Unclear was scheduled. It was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, the album got full. I tried to chop songs, so I couldn't add that part in there. The Clear the Sphinx. Ninja C, we recorded a song together, but it's not released. So I think she gets pushed the next album.
So who else do you think has missed? You have Navio.
JB has to be on the album, so he has to come to on part 2. JB has to come to on part 2.
In terms of the guys doing secular music, do you see yourself doing music blending into a community like Gravities?
I have tried.
To
a point, I have tried. The thing is,
it's not like getting him to do that song. Like,
yes.
Do you see yourself blend? Okay, it's the same thing as Mvuga Kampala, really, right?
Not really.
Mvuga Kampala is still urban.
Still urban. No, honestly, let me tell you what club I wish I would have. I wish I'd have a Baby Cool collab. That is one. I think I've said this before.
You've said this on So UG because I remember hearing this conversation. Yes.
Baby Cool is, I think, the one artist.
And why? Okay, now that's why you're going.
When I think about artists, like I said, I see artists. Even Chameleon would also be interesting, but I did not see Chameleon. I did not know what I would produce to merge myself with Chameleon. It would probably have to be Chameleon producing Chameleon's song, and then I fit in. And by the time I do that, it becomes normal. Like, okay, I guess by the time now I'm overthinking. Yeah. But I guess by this point, if you listen to Aura, then you realize that all the productions there's a way they're synthesized for the guys who appear on them. There's a particular aesthetics, particular thread to these collabos. They are not just for collabos, not just a beat that Santana is on. It's a beat which
the song is whole Santana. Like when you listen to Saga, Santana, but then it's so blended.
There's something. Exactly, and that's the thing. So even when I think about if I have to do a song with Chameleon, I wouldn't know what to do. As a producer, I wouldn't know what to do. And the thing is, if I'm going to another producer, they're going to just produce a Santana song, I'll have to find a way of fitting on it, which is, of course, how everyone would do it. If I was doing like Chameleon. It's not Chameleon.
Yeah, so be a whole Chameleon song.
It would just be a Chameleon, I just have to find a way to fit on it. And the thing is,
but would want you to fit a Chameleon onto like Aura, on how you did
exactly. Now that's
to give us a blend of
that's
that.
The question. Exactly. Yeah. Like maybe so now that's why I think of Baby Cool, because Baby Cool is the one artist I know I can figure out, because I've seen his versatility and his range. I know I can produce the right song and it would go bananas, it would go insane. When I think of a collabo or with someone, I just think of how am I going to mess this shit up? How am I going to make this outstanding? This is my one moment with this person.
You perfected that with Aura. At least Zalia is top notch. Yeah. Just need to get out there and guys.
We're gonna put it out there. I don't know if they're ready for what we're gonna do. And it'll be fine.
True.
It's just so me, man. My collabs are important because how do we create magic once and for all? Like, I don't want to just do songs.
Also, how do you suppose music that you see now, like Philip Bongole Luta's music? Yeah, we have to go back to it literally.
Yeah.
How can you make music like that? You have to answer this because you're a producer and you're also a rapper. Like, how can you make a song like that? Or do you feel like a song like Zalia is that song? Just,
I think
you might not promote it to that level.
I think,
or we just might not appreciate it.
That's the answer. I think, hypothetically speaking, a song like a Phil Lutaya song, any of those songs, the potential, I think I've created those potential. At least 2 songs on the album have that aesthetic. I believe as a rapper, I've achieved that on my album. The only difference is perception and reception. That's the only difference. A track. That's why so many ways is my top 2 songs, the one with Julius Sese. Like like that song has everything.
It has everything.
I want it to
remember it. Yes, even how you closed out. It's crazy.
When I say overproduced,
I've just remembered how it
like we went really far to make it musical.
True.
And the only difference between I'm just saying that song 15 years from now is going to still be listenable. And
like you'll go back to it and get the same feeling, yeah?
Yes.
Like you'd feel like you've just listened to it, or you just starting to love it again. And
I think the only difference is artists deciding if they're going to make music or they're going to make music to sell. If you're making music, you make the right stuff. And it's just a lot of guys have done it.
So for you making music, firstly, is it for you or for? But Zalia, Aura is like for us, really.
Yeah, it is
giving it back to us.
Yeah, I did it for the people. Yeah. Like that's why, like I described it before, it was our album, so everyone. I did it for the people, but I'm also one of the people. That's also a very important part.
It's very important. If you first be part of the people you're doing it for, like you belong to them.
Yes.
The lines are really dope. In my car, there's where you talk about growing up, how all these artists, how you'd think rappers had cool cars, and it's only the Bobby wine, and that's it, yeah?
That's a fact.
It's crazy how that has been the trend up to now. Like
it is.
Until those guys had those big cars and used to be some stupid competition, we've not had that, like from like a line. That's how real it is.
Yes,
as real as it gets.
What's funny is I didn't even know my car was going to be this related. But do you know, that's why sometimes it's like sometimes you just need to write from your feelings. And that's how I wrote my car. I wasn't trying to impress with punchlines.
True.
You guys are lucky I did it 2 verses. There was supposed to be a full verse on how mechanic on build, right? I had everything sorted out, man. When you're out to fixing a car, the chick is like, man, just sell the car. Bitch, where is yours?
She was just says you've done everything.
Man, like the hustle. I feel like the content's there. The people can make the timeless music. It just comes down to reception.
You're singing also on the album, right? There's some bits where you sing.
Yeah, I sang, but I try to make it man singing. Yeah. The singing that anyone can do.
So do you see yourself ever, like, do you have the potential to like do just a singing album? Do you see yourself as just a rapper first, or you see yourself as a musician? You can do anything. Again, you already answered that by saying you see yourself as a Kanye West now, but okay.
No, I'm a musician, but I do not know if I see myself as a singer. Because every time I write my demos to send to the people to sing, I listen to my voice and I'm like, good God, don't judge me. Like, I'm all right, but I can't stand as a musician. I can't compete with people who actually sing. Can't compete with Isabel. Do you see Keron's vocal? I'm not gonna do that. Aish.
Yeah. Who produced Chiti Chamogo?
It was me. Barut did 3%, but it was the most influential 3%. His one added that that Kenneth song. Sinisan's one added that, and it just came out. It's a very small act, but it was most outstanding.
Because you had done so much, so you didn't you noticed by the time you are picking from the Excel list and guess.
But I was like, man, I need to put my stamp on this album. Great, Kenneth. Hey, he did his thing.
Yeah,
he did his thing.
No, in terms of investment,
how
much have you invested in the music and
the album?
Do you think in the album, but also in the music, really?
That's a rap. I can tell you. I can tell you something.
No. You don't even have to, like, in terms of like how much it has to end like this. And can you, like, do you think the return on investment can support your lifestyle? Of course.
Yep. That is straight up. It cannot. In order for me for return investment to make it, to run my life, I have to. It's a sequence of make the music, invest, become a slay queen or slay king, get social media visibility, then get brand ambassadorships and get events. That's when it would be worth it. That's how it will work. That's how I think the Lady Jasmine's and Rema making it.
So
music
for you,
cannot sustain.
Because it would be one thing, you'd probably be rapping for passion and producing your stuff and keeping it like this, but you're going ahead to give us like full projects.
But my God, please. No, so I feel like, man, I feel like
we deserved
it. Yeah, I feel like it was worth it. I feel like I owed it to the world. Let me say it like that. I feel like God gave me this job to do. That's how I feel it in my head. Like I know there's no way I'm going to get enough money to cover everything back. But the music, I feel like I owed it to make it into existence.
Factor money. has family appreciated this music the way a random fan, like say me, has, for you to get some sense of like gratitude, like the people closest to you appreciate fully the music and the work you've put into such an album? Are you at that level where they really be like, because if my elder brother was releasing this album, I'd sit home and be like, my guys are real rapper. Like, I'll feel proud in some case. I'll be like, yeah, this is good.
I feel like I should call my brother and if I make it see what he's saying.
Please,
let's try before my thing even runs out. Before my battery runs out, let's see if he picks up. This is a test. This is a test to see if you'll even pick up. Okay, it's ringing. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting. Let's not tell him let's not tell him it's on the pod. Let's not tell him it's a pod. Let's see if he picks up even. They pick up on their kids and wife and whatnot.
How nice.
Nah, he's not gonna pick. Well, long story short, my brothers they've been bumping it.
Yeah.
And my brother tweeted about it. My brother used to be a producer, Stone Town Chase.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted about it. My other brother Daniel loved it, plays it. He shared it with all his friends. I think the only people who haven't listened to it, I think, are my parents, of course. But the ones who have seen it, they appreciate it.
They're about it.
Yeah. And I think, because I even have friends, I keep going back, like, because I have friends in the States, okay, American friends, who do not understand African culture. They have not really experienced. They've never been to Africa. They only know America and Europe and whatnot. And they listen to this and hit me up immediately. They're like, some guy sent me a voice note. He told me the Americans do not know that African even has hip hop like this. But then, despite while appreciating the hip hop element, they feel like we're again bringing them into African air, and which is the purpose. You listen to Kendrick and you start creep walking like you're in LA or that stuff, and he basically explained to me like you felt the reverse when you listen to the album. This guy haven't spoken to you in 8 years, but he texts me this and he tells me, hey, this is the feeling. My brothers also, he told me the same thing, like, and I feel like that's why I keep saying like I feel like I owed it to put it into existence. I didn't want the money, I didn't want the credit, I didn't want the praise, I didn't want that. I just wanted people to experience it. Like, do you feel that?
Yeah.
That's what it was about. Just.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Now, with this kind of music, by the time you're investing, now you've mastered, you know that you can really produce good music.
Yeah.
You know the process, you love it. Do you ever look at, like, getting collabos for just tapping into people's spaces because this kind of music fits to be in those spaces? Let's say, on a local base, you've done your part now. It's up to us to, like, appreciate the music, you put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, now to, like, go into markets that have already accepted good production and they're about that, and maybe collaborate and just see how that works.
I think that's why I make music these days. Let me say I have rapped, as in I've rapped. I've proved like I don't need any to rap anymore. I've rapped.
Yeah.
But I have not made all the music I can make. And that's where I am right now. I feel like I think that's also had a lot of collaborations, because I was like, what would my song with that person sound? What can this person bring to this sound? So now I think that's the next. If I'm making any more songs, I don't know how many solo songs I can do again. People have had the punchlines. They've had me rap first. They've got it all. Now it's just about what music. Like, that's what I'm saying. If I did a song with Isabel, I'm like, now imagine like me and Isabel just sit on a song. What would that sound like? Like I keep imagining it. I've already seen what I could do with Kenneth. What would I do with Rachel Margot? Baby Cool.
Yeah.
Bobby Wine. I don't know. So that's just now where the mind is at.
Also, check the sound a bit.
So I would do collaborations just to see what would come out. But I don't want the normal collaborations. Like, if I did a song, for example, hypothetically, Casper Nyovest, it would be like, oh yeah, we're just doing it because it's hip-hop and we're supposed to do it. But I know it wouldn't sound new age to just.
But you killed it in us this year.
Should own it, not own him. Let's be honest. I don't even know which South African rapper would give me. Okay, there are South African rappers who would give me a chase for my money. But
do you have raps on a piano beat?
Oh, we're working on one actually right now. I'm not going to snitch, but we're working on one. We are working on one, but I don't know who can own me. Maybe Calligraph. But if I wanted, I can match up to him easy.
Sure. You know how to say that.
I just think which African rapper can make me that myself. At this moment, I'm thinking about now, because there have been some greats before. Proverbs amazing. Reason is amazing. Yeah,
do you feel like you deserve to be under a record label, or you feel like that steals so much away in our space? Take it like this, yeah? We've had so many people complain and blah, blah, blah. We've had the contract talk right from Kanye and everyone else. And how the creative is cheated a lot from the art. But then from like a space that is already booming, like guys, Top Boy was investing 1.5 billion to bring Beenie Man here.
That's crazy.
So you guys, the space, there's money into the space. But the creatives seem like you guys are not getting the money. Now for you, you're a songwriter, you're a producer, you're supposed to have the money. You should not get it.
Man, so it can depress me up again. Okay, so
what do you think is better? Like, what's your perspective? Do you think the labels really, because it's catch-22 really. I never want to like wash away the labels. I like Wayne so much, but at some point I was as kind of like saying, but you guys are trashing Badman. But he still had a contribution, like
that's true. That's true.
Like it's business first, you know. Like he had to put in the risks and all that stuff, business talk. Like for you, what is it like?
First of all,
the only times I've seen two people shine in Uganda hip hop
were signed.
Yeah, they were signed. That time Ryong, I think, was Myth, Kinetic.
Yeah,
that is the time I've ever seen. Because also those are like rappers I relate with and I like their music a lot. So that's the time I real saw, and that I was like, look at Ryonga, like no shit, but he's still pushing. But it's not as that. It feels like
an upcoming artist,
you know.
Okay. So first of all, hip hop is not as big as it used to be, so guys fear to invest in it. That's a footnote. Like it's here, in UG. It's not as big locally as it used to be, so people fear investing in it. Because that time Ryonga was scary. It was worth it. You could see hip hop and be like, yeah, this is the move. Something happened. It's no longer like that. But I think the record label thing is not bad.
Yeah. There's a lot of songs doing that as always. Why am I picking up people who can actually put things together? I was talking to Azawi's manager yesterday.
Hey.
And you could see Jayla. Uh-huh. So she was telling me how first of all she has learned on the job to like manage. Yeah. So that looks like a bit of hard work for songs.
Yeah.
But which is no problem, she's doing good. But now there's people like you who have gone through the process and have these packages. Like why don't they first look out for guys like you? And it looks like it's a
if songs better on me they would cash out.
I think so.
I may even know so. But also if I was songs I wouldn't invest in an English rapper. Okay. Like I'll be honest, if I want to make money as songs, I'll invest in an English rapper. And that's me thinking as a businessman. No disrespect English rappers, but I know that right now in Uganda, I wouldn't invest in an English rapper.
The vision of where Azawi has to go, like people like Azawi have to go.
Yes.
Because the Winnie Nwaji thing works here, but it can only stop here. Yes. In my opinion.
Fact.
Can only
that
stop
is fact. That is
here.
fact. But Azawi has to,
yes, and she has to like move into a direction where probably her next two collabos will be two English rappers or two South African rappers, things like that.
Oh wait, hold on, it's actually calling. Everybody is actually calling. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what he says. We're actually trying to see if the man actually appreciates the music. We don't want speaker.
Play hope.
Stoney, how's it going, man?
So,
can you hear me?
Can you hear?
I'm on the road though, so it might be a little shaky.
Okay, then let me just ask you a quick question,
Question?
What do you think of the album?
Hello?
Yeah, what do you think of the album?
Oh, it's great. want a video for Kitty Chamogo. Want a video? That's all.
That's what you're going to say.
Hello.
That's what you're going to say.
Hello.
Hey, see that's the network. I thought you were in Europe, man. Can't believe you have MTN problems in Europe.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Where is the voice note?
No.
Hey.
So, like I said, I just want a video for Kitty Chamo.
That's all, huh?
That's all.
All right, sir. I got you.
Let's put.
Okay.
He's already made up his mind on his best.
Yeah.
That's dope.
All right. I got you.
He's trying to say about producers not being able to cook up.
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment anymore. I mean, you may be on camera right now. You may be on radio on Sanyo.
It's me because I'm on the.
Yeah, you clearly on the road. Okay, just send the voice note. I'll call you up when I'm back home.
Maybe I'll call you tomorrow when I'm.
All right, sawa. Oh well.
Yeah, super.
Hey, yes, yeah, that's at least he likes it.
Yeah.
He has
his best song. He's pushing for a video. Are you going to give us Chiti Chamongo? The video?
I guess I should.
Yeah, now he has asked for it. Should even pay for it, isn't it?
Yeah, I should pay for it. Yes, those euros.
Yeah, so you're still telling me songs.
So Azawi is more sellable, but I'm saying I wouldn't bet on a rapper. I wouldn't bet on a rapper because business-wise,
an English-speaking rapper,
English
rapping rapper.
Because you see, Azawi was unique because she could really sing, but then they also localized their sing. Okay, if somebody mastered my direction as an English rapper, like if Adrenaline finessed my idea, they could be very sellable, I think, because Adrenaline already has the pieces they need. So. Like that's what I'm saying. Adrenaline, I feel, is very, very sellable and ready to go.
He'll fit.
They'll fit properly. You see, like Big Trill, for example, party after party went crazy, and he was signed. Because Big Trill was doing well while signed to Striker. Remember, he did Kala Yazari, Buti Zinda, and then all the songs are under Striker. So it's proof that actually, as an English rapper, you can do some things. That if you have that local touch, like a nice local touch, you become more sellable. And I think if songs took on the right rapper, the right English rapper, it's about the right English rapper, because English rappers days are losing themselves, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, Ugandans, they will not chew your trap you'll not chew trap music if you rap in English. They will not. And songs will not bet on an English trap rapper.
I had this conversation with Mickey Solo at some point, so I was telling him, that's first of all, you're trapping in English, so
that's
for you, it means
counter.
just going to keep in the trap house.
Yeah. And the thing is, many rappers, that's another thing. Ugandan rappers making music for rappers. Yeah, that is the one thing you do not want. That is the one. You do not want to make music for musicians. Yeah, because musicians have opinions, and they want you to please their art. Now, rappers make it even worse. Then that was my mistake before. I was writing raps for rappers, punchlines that make rappers happy. So you have to adapt and start making music for people, and that's the difference.
I get that. When you make music for rappers, it might just die there. Like
it will. It will. Two guys will be like, "Yo, you had these lines, and that's it." And rappers, man, they even dub on you. You're like, "Hey," and you'll be like, "Man, this rapper liked my song." You get it? And that's it. You have the song, and you're. Man, don't make music for rap. Like, the one thing I was scared of,
I just imagine back then, let's say you are making music for rappers, and like a Habo listens to a rap song, he'll just die.
Oh, back then I felt like,
you can't.
And then a more dramatic dub, that way you can look up afterwards. You can't. That way I look for validation. Whoa, you see that? Man, and that's what scared me. I was scared of that on the album. Releasing the album and only musicians and rappers like it. That's how you know.
When do you think the market does not appreciate English? Okay, no. First of all, there is so much cool. All of us, not like all of us.
Yeah.
But the definition of cool in urban is guys have gone to schools.
Okay,
The traditional and international almost the same, like in terms of the people blend. They speak English, they want to speak English, they listen to hip hop, they're going for Nigerian concerts. You see that trend? Nigerian concerts and blankets and wines of 100 bob.
I see that. I see what you mean.
That's the culture that is supposed to support this music, and that culture seems to have the music that's streaming all this other music. Why isn't it appreciating our own music? In terms, I do not want to say we don't, because I've been streaming your album for 2 weeks straight with my boys. So that's first of all, that's like my first step. That's all I have to do. And I'm streaming it off Spotify and all these other applications where I pay. I don't know how you benefit, but
I get my money soon.
I didn't back market it. I'm getting it through the
Thank you so much, sir.
So, but why? Why doesn't the market believe in you? This is from the guys giving endorsements to MTN to what's up? The work is quality. There's no doubt about it. What's up?
That's a hard question, but I think there are many answers and many possibilities. For one, of course, there's the obvious bias that has grown with time. For example, let me say the best urban music, the finest, is made by people of particular age, let me say, particular age above. Let us say from 20 to 25 will make them more musically enticing, easy to sell music. And that's the one people would like to follow. But then that crowd you're talking about is kind of mature and they'll look at them as youngins. Is that right? So you're looking at black and white people are usually above 25 plus.
Yeah.
Rest of them 25. These are grown-ups.
Yeah.
So they will appreciate the music, but will be like, oh, you're a nice rapper. You give your
why is it that?
That's why I think it's best, because when hip hop was at its peak, when hip hop was at its peak, those people were in their early 20s. So which means
but let's look at hip hop at its peak. Okay. We had GNL, Navio. Most of what Navio was doing was to blend in a few Luganda words to relate to the people and get it out there.
Yeah.
GNL went hardcore by telling his stories in Uganda and it peaked. And that is still happening on a better way, better beats when you listen to what Price was producing then and now.
Price had some crazy stuff.
Yeah. So really you see the difference.
Okay, so let me give the answer I've always said. The answer I've always given is, first of all, there's a deterioration. These guys built, okay? When the Navios came up, first they were like the few, I think they were the only, there were very few rappers. And then and that time all music was seen, I think. All rappers, R&B, the Maurice Kirias or whatnot, everyone was seen, no matter whether they liked your stuff or not. So they were coming now, then hip hop grew, all these genres grew. There's a lot of rappers. Now rap in the 2010s, when it was at its peak, thought it was too good for everyone. Now we became the high school problem. In high school, when you were into rap, whatever you were, the term wannabe, the guy wants to be cool, who's apparently cooler than everyone. That thing kind of happened. So guys used to be like, man, those guys who think they're better than us, so you do not like those guys. So around the 2010s, when hip hop was at its peak, hip hop started acting cooler than everyone else. That's what I think. By acting, people wanted this is what I was saying. Guys wanted real hip hop. They wanted punchlines. There was a time around 2013, 2014, whereby hip hop had their own groups. Yeah. And it was, if you made a mainstream song, you were not a serious rapper. They didn't appreciate you. That's when Young Z, Zagazillion, tried to join rap, and no rapper supported him. It was only being supported by the mainstream, and rappers were like, look at this kid. Yeah. So rappers thought to be real hip hop, you had to be underground, not making mainstream music. I remember that's the time Myth did that Bougie Wougie song. Yeah. And it was a good song, it was a mainstream song. but Ugandan rap circles chanting like, man, that song, they were laughing at it. So when you made commercial music, they start laughing at you. Yet commercial music and working with the mainstream is what elevates careers. To a point whereby there's about 2 years at least where the only person making mainstream hip-hop was Navio, mainstream collabos, was Navio, and maybe Myth once in a while. That is, I think about 2016, 2015, no rapper was making mainstream. Do you
think right now Fik or Gravity identify as rappers?
Now that's the thing. It all came from that moment where guys started discriminating like we have to be real hip hop. That whole real hip hop nonsense, that discrimination internally. So the fact is, Fik Fameka is a rapper.
Yeah.
Let's face it, he's a rapper, and he does rap. But because of discrimination, I think even he doesn't feel accepted by rappers. So
I've had him actually on thingy, on a few YouTube conversations. Him talking about how he thinks he's a rapper, but he just goes just like a
so
dance or whatever.
You got to where they accept you, and the mainstream accepts him. So what happens is the people who accept you are the ones who go. So the mainstream accepted him, hip hop didn't accept him. So like shit, okay, cool. So now the rappers cut off all the. And here's the worst part about it. After chopping off all these connections to the mainstream, guess what happens? 90% of them quit.
That's true.
So imagine being the core source of the decay. Like you literally come to a toilet, shit everywhere, and then disappear, leaving it in a mess. So 90% quit. That's why if you look at, let me say my generation of rappers. By my generation, I mean after the Navio, before Lagoon, that generation, we are less than 5. There's Taka, there's Flex, there's me. I don't know who else. Yeah. Even Taka doesn't do that much music.
That's true. Last year he was on a roll though. He tried to bring music last year.
Taka does, I just remembered. But then like you see what I mean? All these guys have like they literally went out.
I get you.
So now my biggest fear is that the next generation makes the same mistakes. Because I can see hip hop going up again. I feel like it's warming up. Because now it's the next generation of rappers, the Lagoon, Denesi, that whole Mutono.
It's coming up by the way.
Yeah, it's coming up really good. Yeah. So my fear, which I don't really care for anyway, is they'll grow, they'll become big, they'll get successful, they'll do good, and start discriminating against the mainstream again. Because right now I do not see, they might do better than us because I'm seeing most of them have a sort of commercial sound. That's what I'm hoping. They do have a commercial sound.
Yeah, there's that
I just hope they mass more,
I like that verse from Denesi. What's that song?
Kampala.
No.
Hey, what's it called? Not Tuliwa, no. There's that other song.
If I was...
that song.
That song. I like it. Yeah. That song.
You even performed it like
exactly.
That one song.
Exactly.
That one. It's like actually
that's so commercial. When you talk about the commercial, I listened to it and I remember like some pop smoke and how it's hit the market. Then
if I was to bet on any of the new rappers, I'd bet on Denesi. Denesi has the perfect blend because he is not too hip hop, and he's just music. Of course, as a rapper, I'd bet on the homie, but as an artist, I'd bet on Denesi. Yeah. Like, I feel like that man might be the key, man. Like, that's what I think.
I totally agree.
Like, he's different, he is interesting, and he makes good music.
And he has so much to say.
Man. Like, I just hope they don't make the same. I just hope they comfortably mix up with guys. Because right now,
and that's what you've done with Aura, right? Like you want to show people that you can just blend. The music can be for everyone to consume.
That's the point.
It's us. I can still come on as a rapper, but I'm still rapping for these people because I'm blending it like for the whole entire market. Yeah,
and that's what's important. Like I feel like it is. We start music. Okay, music is music. Music should not be limited to people. Music should be for everyone, and people really need to reach and share as much music as they can. Like I just wish they do that. Like, hey,
otherwise protected legally.
Copyright.
Copyright and
yes, it is.
publishers can trace it from like TikTok and all that stuff.
Yeah, it is. So all the money comes back to your boy. So TikTok, make TikTok videos, man.
Definitely. No, I'm going to be telling our content creators to like be throwing in Zalia, what? I should tell you a strategy, by the way. Send. Yeah, so we see what we can do.
It's by me. So at the end of the day, right now, I feel like hip-hop's good. Even Wonder JR is doing good. He's making killings, getting love. I just pray, one, they do not discriminate against any artist. They don't
feel like that this type of cool and these people are this type of cool.
Exactly. Because that is not how you create greatness. Remember,
I hear you.
You get greatness by going to the ghetto. You get greatness by going to the office. You go to the corporate floor. You go to the slums. That's how you get great. You see,
no matter how good you are, because when you look at even radio, you can just give a song to anyone. You're coming. Let's do it. Let's do
this thing. Let's do the thing. So my best. That's the only thing. That's my only fear. That's my only hope. But let's watch, man. I'll be here to see it happen.
True.
Let's hope they don't make the mistakes we made or the guys around me made. And let's just wait and see.
What do you think about Kanye West?
Musically as a person?
As everything. His comments. What do you
He's a genius, a victim of success. And I was watching the Genius documentary. And I realized Kanye West has never changed. It's just his surroundings which has changed.
In my last tweet, that's something I was saying. Why are people getting shocked by this guy? Like, this has been that guy.
The only difference is the situation. First of all, I saw a thing where he was saying, what did he say? He said it was in that documentary. He was with his mom in front of the crowd and tells people, "I am great. I am a god. You should tell yourself that." The difference is that time he was saying, telling people how they should look at themselves. And be like, while making a speech, like, why you should believe in yourself. Say, I am this great. I am on this level. I am God. No way. And he goes and says the same thing 10 years later, and now it's a problem. Like, he has always been the person. He has always...
The lyrics on, like, Graduation, you can go back to some of them.
He has always said that. He literally, before he even made it, he was saying, I'm going to be the best dressed rapper. Then he became... And, of course, he came up with this fashion and went with it. Nothing has changed. The only difference is
they can't. They're always in offices in suits because they can't dress.
And I think the difference too.
He said that way back, and now it came back when he was talking about Adidas and how he bumped into their offices with porn. So Drink Champs, I think he mentioned it was like, some guy brought it up. Like, you said this, like they're always in offices. The lawyers. They send you to lawyers and they're always in suits because they just can't dress.
This is true. So that's a point. It's a good point. What was I going to say? When you think, shit, I forgot my train of thought.
I know that.
That's gone. Yeah. But it was on regards to Kanye. Yeah, what changed was this perception. If right now I tell you that I'm probably the best. Like let's say if I talk about Aura, and I say I think Aura is one of the top 5 albums of all time. If I say it now, it will mean something different when I say 10 years from now, depending on who's around me, depending on how people have perceived it. And I think that's that's the difference between what Kanye did. When Kanye says I am a god, and 100 people see him, if 5 people be like, this guy says he's a god, it's nothing. But then if it grows so big that there's 100 people, 100 million, then that 5 people actually equals 5 million. And with Twitter, 5 million people say, man, this guy said I am a god. Now the negativity also grows. So the whole perspective changes. So I do not think, the only difference now, first of all, is that. Secondly, he has always been fighting for what he wants to say. Now, that's also back and forth. So if I fight for what I believe in right now, and no one says something,
what you want to say is crazy. Like,
that's crazy.
I thought about it now.
Like, I say something, and you counter it. It's cool. But then if you counter it, and another one just talks about like this guy said this, I'm like, no, I say that. So now I'm fighting for what I want to say.
Sure.
Sooner or later, I'm going to start getting aggravated and angry that you do not want me to say what I want to say. And at the end of the day, I'm going to lose my ish.
So in one of the issues he raises, he talks about how the message in most of the music is, how can I term it? I don't want to say bad, but it's not important. Like if you sing about God, like you see how you have God on the album, it won't be appreciated. And this is a conversation I was having with my chick actually. So when Panero was leaving, so I was telling her to play, as giving her an example, like here, they can play this music. It's almost, it gives you the same feels, influence music is going to give you.
Yes.
But it's Ugandan music, it's our music. So it just needs to get here, and it starts with all these numbers. Look at all these people. This is how you start like supporting real hardcore music.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen, because maybe it's good music on your album, maybe. But then
I have a good question.
Yeah.
Let's hold that question. Let me answer it simply. Do you want a Rolex from the street or from a restaurant?
From the street.
Can you make a Rolex in your home if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Even if you bought the chapels, you know this sequence, don't you?
Yeah.
Why do you prefer the one in the street still?
I have there's no answer.
There's no actual answer.
Yeah. You just go to the street.
That is the answer to your question. If I came up with God's favorite, for example, and I brought it to people, they will not. They want to hear Stormzy's. They want to hear Kanye West. They want to hear Maverick. They want Kirk Franklin. They don't want that nigga who is 20 kilometers down here in Nigeria. They want the Rolex from the street.
They feel like their soul is like through a Kanye from a mile.
Exactly.
A boat, I see that now.
I think it's a human human
you're so next to me for me to like be inspired.
To appreciate you. Yes, exactly. Like, dude, you're like just the next guy. And
I'm probably going to see you on a bike, or I'm going to see you in a bar with me, so I won't really believe it's you making the music.
Exactly.
And it comes up. People hear good production, and you hear that Chibala Chibozi. I think producers, he went for Germany, he has his buddies in Germany sending him beats. It's always there on good production. Like, no one appreciates people's efforts.
That's why, okay, me, first I'm happy about there's a new age of listeners who listen.
I agree.
I find it so cool.
I find that's even how like the podcasting niche, that's how we will win, because at least there's that niche of people who are willing to
want to ask people in school like it's really cool that there's people like sometimes I get surprised. Dude, first of all, if I released this album 5 years ago, I'm not lying, a tenth of the people that have listened to it, probably I would have gotten 5 people only listening to it. I'm not lying, and those 5 would have been rappers. Like I can know that almost for a fact. True. But I've run into
that's
people.
So true.
You see it.
That's so true.
You see it.
That's so true. It would not be relevant for you to bring
it. Wouldn't.
But
it wouldn't. Yes. That's why I get happy when I run to people and like I've known people like, yo, bro, I listen to this thing. And people send me videos like, yo, people are listening to this. People are listening to this. I saw people in offices, people I've never met listen to the album. I wouldn't have experienced that 5 years ago, but now it's now. We're getting people of our summer. Like it's a new trend of people who appreciate art. That's why, like, despite that answer I've given you, people want the original thing. There's this new people, and I think I might have to give.
Are you hopeful?
I'm hopeful for the next.
Will this inspire you to like actually keep at it and give us the next album?
Yeah, I'll have to give you.
I don't have second thoughts about it, but because of that, that can be enough inspiration. At least now, like this can give you the standpoint. Like the people who are willing to like listen.
They are there. They are there. Like I said earlier, what I want to do is just inspire the person who will be most appreciated. I want to, not trying to be God, I want to be the Elijah of the next Jesus. I'll create the path for the next dope person. I like to inspire. We do the testing so that I like to be cocky, but I killed this album's branding. Aish! Did you guys see the album branding? Good God!
We're coming to that, the artwork. I know you do this stuff yourself, the packaging. That's the last part. Yeah.
Then like I said, we'll get there. So like people, like if I could like beat Tennessee, beat the homie, whoever, beat Ibrahim, beat Mutono, I do not know who it is who makes the next, because sooner or later, like I said, I'll fade out. I'm not going to be rapping my 40s.
Yeah.
But like someone's going to be in their late 20s and they still be doing it like early 30s, and their crowd will be bigger. Bro, people stream songs. 5 years ago, no one could even check shit out on YouTube. It's crazy. So now, like, it's a new era and new opportunities. As long as, one, they don't discriminate, and two, they just actually give us what we understand. There's a guy I actually wanted to give him there's one person I can call a fan of mine. Like I can call a fan. Okay, of course, yeah, I understand there are many fans.
Including
this guy,
myself.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This guy sends me an artwork of myself that he has hand drawn. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Then I tag him. I've asked for his art. Instagram posted. I thanked him. He was like, yo. He was excited. He was hyped, and he explains to me that the reason why he liked my stuff was because I speak for them, which I didn't know I did. I just thought I was just speaking what I saw.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. That's what I keep talking about. You have to talk for your people. If you cannot talk generic because you're trying to sound cool or hip hop, you have to talk for someone. You have to talk to someone. Talk for someone. You have to represent someone. Rappers, artists have a job. It's your job to represent people. Artists overall, not just rappers. Painters, podcasters, name it, creative.
I remember you telling me something on Twitter. Now that rings a bell. You're like, it's not you supposed to be saying this. I think I don't know what I tweet something about parenting. And I'm like, yeah. So I see your message. I don't know if that was a thing, but
yeah. I've forgotten what I was saying. I've forgotten what discussion was about. There's something about kids, huh?
Yeah.
It was about kids. I don't remember what it was about.
It was kids. I also don't remember it offhand.
Yeah, because I've been thinking of...
When I get it.
Just off topic, I keep thinking, of late I've been thinking, there's something we do not know about fathers and parents. Because those guys be too stressed. There's some shit going on with parents that we do not know.
They sacrifice so much.
They sacrifice. That's the thing. We do not know it.
And let me shock you. It's still off topic, but on that, I think one of the biggest problem is people really never realize. People don't know that parents can be broke.
They can.
It's not like about giving you money and stuff like in the state of he's providing stuff, but he's a broke person in identity. Like he's just squeezing all this. So you grow up with this whole mentality. He's a superhero.
Exactly. Like I think it's at this age I keep wondering, how do guys do that? Friends who are parents, we all do. And I just see them killing it. And every time I keep thinking about my parents when I was a kid, I never thought about money. I just thought about what I wanted.
Exactly.
And then now I look at myself, like I had this thing I realized recently. The only people I trust on parental advice without kids are people who say I don't want kids. Those are the only ones I trust. But if you do not, if you think you will want kids and you're advising on parenting, you're lying.
I hear you on that.
You are lying. It's only someone who has given up their life. Because think about it, having a kid and saying, first of all, ever since you are born, all you do is for you. Your parents are doing for you. You know what it was. You want. I want. I'm going to study. I want to work here. I want to live here. I want to date this chick. I want to break up. You are number one. You're your priority. And then suddenly you get a human being who is 100% your priority, which means you cannot 100% yourself anymore. You have to find in your 100% enough percentage to give them 100%.
You have to find 100%
from somewhere in your 100% to give them.
You literally could stay on zero.
You literally, because don't forget, when that kid, as soon as the kid is born, for the next 3 months, you're doing everything for them, feeding them, washing them, moving them, walking them, everything, teaching them for I don't know how many years. Bro, somewhere you're gonna get pissed. I don't know where. Somewhere you're gonna get tired. That's why I'm saying there is something in that line that we do not know. I don't know it yet. I will never talk parenting until I have my own kid.
Do you have kids?
Shit, someone has to rap when I'm done. I have to teach a kid. I was like, yo, road does not rhyme with black. Hey, teach the kid how to do these raps.
Will you teach your child how to rap, or you let them find it? Okay, no, showing them the direction is interesting. But I won't teach. Is there such a thing as teaching someone how to rap?
No, you can expose them. I feel you can expose people. Okay. You can't teach them how to rap, but you can let them like what they like. Like I feel like I would have a keyboard and music and stuff and rap around. I'll play music, and if they're interested, it's up to them. Like I would have a basketball and a football around the house. I'd have a piano, so that if you want to play that sport, you can play. If you want to play this instrument, you can play. If you like it, do what you want with it and see how far you can get. That's what I would do. I'll give you the tools and you choose what you like. That's what I think I would do.
What inspired the artwork? But you're a designer.
I mean, honestly,
what does it mean? They're all cool, all fresh, all sides.
If you look close,
first look at it again.
This is the ginger bridge.
Remember, yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Let me go to ginger bridge. Yeah. But this matrix.
Okay, so there was the first artwork. I did it. There was a first artwork, and I did the first artwork, and which is honestly going to be the cover for the next album.
Is it like Neo in the Matrix?
That's like play one. What's an aura? What are you talking about? Okay. So I did the first album artwork.
Yeah.
And it was dope, and I loved it. And I'm like, this is gonna be it. Then I spoke to one of my designers, and I had a second idea. I passed him the artwork, the way I did it, and I gave him a different picture, and I said, think Black Panther. And I just gave him the files. So he replaced my picture, took the elements I had, like the bridge. I actually had 2 other artworks. This is not just know there were 3 albums. People don't understand how much work I put into this thing. There are 3 other album artwork covers. And so he got the other 2, looked at them, picked up elements, and then created. And I just told him, think Black Panther. And he converted it into Black Panther-esque, while keeping the themes like the mountain peak, which I feel right now is the peak of my mental state and rapping state, and then the ginger bridge to represent where I'm from. Then also we had to have the masks, because the masks, because you have the guy putting on the masks on the side, that's pretty much me. But then also it pretty much insinuates this thing, because you see the person wearing the mask is wearing a normal t-shirt. So that's pretty much Kisubi Jacob. And when I put on the mask, I become this figure in the middle who is play one. So it's like, and
so
it's a story of its own. Like the mask, there's this line that's behind the mask.
Jacob is the guy putting on the mask.
Kisubi Jacob is the guy putting on the mask. Yes.
Yeah, to turn into play one.
Yeah, the guy in the middle is play one, was the mask. Okay, was become that was the mask. Yeah. There's this line I always put behind the mask. Oscar Wilde said, talk to a man, is it a man will least be himself when he speaks in his own person? But give him a mask and he'll tell you the truth. Yeah. So that's one of the things that's why I would have the mask in my raps, because I feel like when I put on the mask, I'm telling you my truth. So that also comes in that package.
Genius. Man, how is the thought process?
I told guys, I've been driving past me, opening eyes, looking in the air. My brain is just working.
Yeah, nice.
So I couldn't do that work in 1 year. Like, I don't think. If I had a yacht producer album.
So like every bit of idea that was coming to you in the past 7 years for this album, when are you going to release the next? Sorry to put you on pressure, but like, how do you imagine? When do you think you'll be ready?
A lot faster, because all the songs are produced. Some are even recorded already.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just had to move some pieces around to make this fit.
The second will be easier, but now with this,
even the cover is.
Were you just picking little bits of ideas that come to you and then you add them? It's like a project you have somewhere. Every day you come and
I add to it.
Like you have some commitment to it. Like you have to come back home with bread and milk.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Just imagine you're trying to build a car, and you have enough spare parts for a second car. Like you're trying to get the engine, but you so happen to find 2 on the way back. That's pretty much how this is. So while I was putting this piece together, like I was trying to probably build a TX, but then I realized I can build a Benz better, and in building a Benz I had enough pieces left over to build a second, like a Subaru or something. So that's how this is. Like I have enough parts with the same identity to finish the second project. You can look at it like that. And so like the artwork is already designed, most of the songs are already produced, the concepts are already done. It's plug and play.
King's Wrath. Let's go through the 17 songs as conclude, and you tell me what you think about them on what King's Wrath. 5 words. Like a word that can describe what you wanted to say and what you are about in the culture.
Self-greatness. King's Wrath is about self-belief, being the great person you believe you are, and not needing someone else to tell you what you are worth.
Yeah.
And that's like, and that has always been my weakness. I've always, I think, tried to look for validation from people, and I think that was wrong of me.
Yeah.
Trying to get accepted by people, I've struggled with that a lot. I think till today I still struggle with it a bit. You want everyone to love you, you want everyone to accept you, you want everyone to like you.
Yeah.
And then you even want them to tell you you're good. And it's about, King's Wrath is about a point where you reach and you're like, you know what? It's
Me,
okay.
I'm good. It's cool.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm
So
good.
best can you on?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Osaga.
Osaga.
Comedy.
Yeah,
Looks like
comedy.
Let me tell you, Osaga is very interesting.
It's a kujoga song.
It's a kujoga, but how it makes me feel. Like I have gone to a new bar with all these new people, and I'm just there and there's all this happening, so I'm just in the middle there.
Actually see that.
That's how it makes me feel. That's like it's in another world, like then the beats go. Like it's interesting.
The saga feels like that song that is like people who are happy with themselves.
Yeah.
Like go money, like whatever happens, you sort yourselves, me, I'm going to, and they're happy. Like they are ecstatic about their existence. That's why I talk all this trash, Santana talks all this trash, and it's more like it's that state of Osaga. Holiday.
Yeah.
Man, I saw that.
But I like Holiday. I like the calmness.
Holiday is honestly a song for time of song. It's a man, leave me alone, bro song. It's a Ndeka. I let me be.
Teacher Mogo, of course, said so much about that. Zalia too.
Teacher Mogo is an SME song. That's how I call it.
Zalia. Zalia, what does that mean, first of all?
Be you. Accept who you are. Do not pretend. Don't try to be who you're not.
What's that? Lingala. Is that like a language in Lingala?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about accepting who you are.
So many ways?
I love pretty much I love you. It's a love song.
It's dedication to someone's? Is it inspired by like a relationship?
Nah.
Does that happen to you? Do you write some lyrics because some chick?
I used to.
My car, definitely. Some chicks at first.
My car was a collection of experience.
Yeah, but is that those of chicks watch jazzing probably with your friends and you're like, but what's up with these good chicks, man?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm touching this one. I do not agree.
Sabula, you went hard. Like Sabula. I don't know how Sabula, you sat.
You need a verse. You always need one song to remind rappers that that's because I'm singing. That's because I'm singing. Don't get it twisted.
And you really say it's Sabula. It's Sabula, nothing because I don't even struggle with it. It's Sabula. That's what that's about that song. Yeah.
When you listen to the raps, you still got into the rap, then the chorus switches and you're like, hey, okay. Then you get like a groove, easy. Because like the raps are so rappy, then the chorus is just like vibe. Nice.
Hold on.
Depression, man. Depression and hope. Depression meets hope.
How have you handled depression? How do you... Okay.
How did I?
How did you... how did you actually? But not did you, like... I want to bring it... Before we go to that, like, specifically that... You have not like experienced superstardom in Uganda with your music to
thank God I haven't.
To be like taken up, and like how do you feel about being a superstar? You still more or less you still have your identity, like right? You wouldn't go into a room and you're scared that this one knows you and stuff. You still enter, be yourself.
As long as I know that there's like an average decently get more money from my 9 to 5 than my raps, I will keep doing my 9 to 5.
So, I was going to ask you about superstardom, but
I don't want
after this.
We already talked about it, and
Zinge,
Vibe. Yeah.
Vibe.
Nice, man. Yeah, wait for the video.
Shout out to Adrenaline, man.
Those are my
nice
girls, man. Girls, man. Nice is just girls.
Micah already know God's favorite. Kudos, man. Was this because the music was connecting and the album came to life? How did you finalize with God's favorite? Like, okay, it's not like number.
No, I knew the album was going to. Every time I talk about
behind
the album,
it all, you're Christian and these are your values.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel like it's all founded on God, on God's. Because that's why I keep thinking, man, God must have had a hand in this. Because even the way, yes, I chose it in. Let me just testify. Screw it. I was about to say F it. That's not how you testify. so I produced the beat, right? And I knew I wanted to be a gospel song. Now the only part that kept in my head was, God, I'm your favorite. God, I'm your favorite. I knew that part. You make me. The first way, you make me feel like. You make me feel like.
When you go to my status, it's the last thing I quoted.
That's still.
Yesterday night, because I was listening it from Fanero again.
You told me. I feel like that's an important thing. Because when for you to feel like God's favorite, you have to know that everyone knows that God loves everyone. But then, do you know what it means to love everyone, but still you feel like you're getting the most love? Like, that's insane. Like, that's why people break up with their men when they're cheating, because they don't feel like the love is balancing out. Because when someone starts loving someone else, your love goes down.
True.
But imagine someone loving everyone but still giving you so much outstanding love. So that was the purpose. So I knew the chorus.
And you must have gone through it to feel like
that.
Like my dad's favorite.
That is something.
That's something.
So I tried to write the chorus for like 6 months and I failed. As in, I tried and the notes failed. And I made an appointment with Abasa. I'm like, Abasa, come through the choir guys, the sing guys, come through to my place, we shall record. I kept trying 1 week, they're about to come. 4 days, they're coming. I failed. 2 days, nothing. One, I went and slept like, I'll sort it out. True story. Abasa calls me like, we're coming, open the gate. I don't have the chorus. They enter, they park. I don't have the chorus. I open the door, they get in. Like, hey guys, how you doing? Like, they come and they sit down. The Abasa is like, hey man, so that's whatever, they sit down. I'm like, Abasa, let me come. I go to my other room. No lie, in 1 minute I had the chorus.
Wow. It came to you like magic.
They showed up, 1 minute I had the whole chorus written down. Like, till today, don't believe that just came out. That you made me, you died just so that I could be here. Like, that whole whatever came in 1 minute. And I just gave it to us like this goes like this, like this. I told the guys, then they just started singing it and they were on point. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Then you decide to go out hard with the AEO. You had to remind us.
That is a plot twist. It's a to be continued rap. That's why it stops halfway. The other half is on the next album. That's why it stops half.
You still are saying you had no idea this thing sounded like Be Aware?
I didn't. Let me even hear Be Aware. All I know is the bass line, that's all.
I didn't even play it for you when you came.
I've never thought about it till now. You should beware, beware, beware.
Yeah.
The woman with the broken heart.
Exactly. So the message is entirely different. So that's what I was like. It's there in the background.
Yeah.
What words?
It's amazing to be here in Accra. God.
When you say the bass line.
That ding ding ding.
Yeah. You almost hear like the drums?
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I should have seen this coming right from the start.
You should beware, beware, beware.
Woman with a broken heart.
And the fact that you did this
before.
Yeah,
I did
it's
before.
not really genius, man. I was telling you, maybe, but you're not published, so. It's like you slowed it down, but yeah, it's there.
It feels like it could be.
Yeah.
It feels like it could be. Now I hear it.
I guess when I was growing up.
And it's have you seen that?
Oh shit! I didn't know this. Honestly, I'm just wondering right now. From clubs to campus. I swear I didn't know till now.
Let me say, I looked for this beat, man. This is how much attention I've given this area. I was like, I know this is so like over. This guy did it so well. Like wow, and it's different. So I went. I looked for it. I was like, yes.
No, I don't remember that right now. I'm just realizing it right. I swear.
That's dope, man.
but as long unless the song came out earlier. Yeah. But no, I definitely, because I produced mine before Beware dropped.
You're moving out, eh? That's okay, Kale. Me, I'll stay.
That's crazy.
Okay, about the music that seems like it. Tell me, you, as in, what are you about? Okay, so you have a 9-to-5 job. You've talked about your plans. You definitely have. Do you want to have children, or you want to have like family, marriage, the whole set?
Man, first having just children, that stuff looks like a lot of work. And you have those friends who have like single dads. They're always complaining about baby mama. That stuff looks exhausting, man. You just get a family and do you, bro. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, man. Does that look they have on their face? Like, all your friends who do not have, who are single dads, always have a look up.
There's some shit that get depressed in a minute. They can't see
like they always be. What's funny is always be dressed really cool, and they're like, how do the chin? I look. Then there's always that one friend they explain to their problem. My short milk. Man, they don't even call their kids to you like, man, I have to take Junior. They'll be like, man, I have to take this one to school. Don't even call their kids this one. Like, the guys are done. The time a nigga starts calling his son this one, his daughter, man, I have to take this one. You have to go pick up from the mother's place. Six of the mother raising your kids, man. I didn't want to be, man.
I hear you.
I mean, like, nah. Just do family.
How are you managing to be organized? And me, I'm telling this from just the music only. By the time you're giving us a project like this, it shows that you're taking life serious.
Yeah.
You respect us, the fans, that you can package something like this. Yeah. How are you doing that? What's your formula? What's your working style?
I actually didn't. I think it's a default setting at this moment. It's a default setting. I do not know why. I feel like I just have one take at every appearance. That's how I feel. Every client, every interaction, anyone. I feel like I have one take at every interaction that I make. People I meet, music, any art, any work, everything. It's not that I'm. You know the word YOLO. I remember YOLO. Yeah. You only live once, right?
That's the motto.
That was the motto, exactly. You know, that's the motto, nigga, you know. So when that thing dropped, it meant people can be as reckless as they want to be. Now, I rethought that sentence, because for me it meant you only have one shot. It didn't mean you have to live your life to the maximum since you only have one. It meant you have to live your life to the maximum since you only have one. That means two things. Means you live your life drinking and smoking and whatever, but that does not equate living it to the maximum, because guess what? Next day you're going to be hungover, weak, tired, etc. So you haven't really lived your life to the maximum. You've instead affected your next day. So which means for me, living your life to the maximum meant any opportunity I get, any person I meet, any song I put out, any video I make, any work I deliver, will I ask myself I could have done better? That is the question for me, because that's one thing that always bothers me. Every screw up, every mistake haunts me for a while, because I keep wondering, I should have done better, I could have done this. And I think that's how I do it, and that's why I took so long with this album too, because I was thinking, what can I not mess up? How can this be as good as it can possibly be? I'm not competing with anyone else.
Sure.
I'm competing with me. Like I have to do. But if I can't let new ideas come in later, I can't say I should have fixed this.
Yeah.
I have to fix it now. And that's how I look at life, that's how I look at work, that's how I look at music, that's how I look at relationships. I do not think I've been in a relationship whereby, as in of late, or in my last couple of years, be it a relationship, be it a friendship, I do not let myself look back and say I could have done better. If I do something where I know I could have done better, I know that the next step to doing better is to apologize. And like that, so which means apology is the next simplest, best move. Like that's the only option. That's the only answer. So that's how I look at anything I do. If I mess up with a client, I apologize, give them something, don't charge them or whatever it is. Like I just have, it's one take, man. It's one take in this stuff. And time is gone, time goes, doesn't come back. Yeah. So you just have to treat your next step as your best step. That's how I look at everything.
What has been your greatest life lesson?
Greatest life lesson?
Yeah.
Shush. I haven't thought about that.
You've beaten depression, so.
No, no. That actually taught me something, because through depression, I realized that the stuff that makes life worth living is I labeled it a treasure. I created this thing I labeled a treasure, and I called it treasure because it has no definite form only for every person. But every person has something they can live for. Like, doesn't matter how bad things are, depressed you are. The fact that you've been alive to this point, there's something that kept you going. Could be music, could be movies, could be work, could be acting, could be podcasts, could be art, could be creating. Because I think we're getting more depressed because we were born into a world with so many systems. Systems didn't let us find out who we are.
Yeah.
So we kept following systems, and then we are realizing this doesn't fit me right. And it's like giving a tube top yet you're really fat, like it doesn't fit you right. So now you need to find that comfort, that thing that you want, where you fit right. And so that's how we end up getting depressed. You know, you don't have the love of your life in him. I don't mean as a person.
Yeah.
I mean treasure. Your love, the love of your life, that treasure, whatever it is.
Something like
it can even literally be your parents. It can literally be family conversations. Because you see, for example, people do not appreciate family time because they take it for granted. That's why a lot of us, for example, as men, as people of this generation, I don't know how often we have told our parents we love them. Very, very few. Very. But then wait until they pass. Then you're like, shit.
You write a whole Facebook post.
Yeah, those things.
Love hurts.
Exactly. That's when you realize you love them.
Yeah.
And kids would never realize they love their parents. It's only the parents who know that they love their kids, because they knew that the moment they saw them, most of them at least. So what happens is, these are the treasures that you have to realize, amongst others. Our parents, our fathers, keyword fathers, are the unluckiest people, ours, because their treasures are their children. They just, one, don't know, and two, don't know how to admit it. So you end up being, and the reason why you end up being, for example, an absent father is because in your head you were taught to work for your family and provide. Culture said provide. So you give your wife the house she wants, you take your kid to school he wants to, you give him the money he wants, all those things. But
that's what works, right?
Because that's what works, pretty much. But guess what? The kids do not see that. They will not say, for them as far as they're concerned, you're absent. So when you reach a particular point in your life, you're too old to reconnect, but you love them. Yeah. And because of your generation, you do not know how to bridge that gap. And it becomes a real thing. But
I feel like none of our parents know how to bridge that gap.
Yeah, I remember every time I told my mom I loved it, it was awkward.
For us, I've not got in a position where I have, I think I've sent, on his birthday, I've sent my dad, hey daddy, I love you, happy birthday.
I haven't told my daddy I love you.
But through text. No, I also bought him a watch and I took it to him. But
so now you're acting like him. See, now you're acting like him. You're buying him stuff. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're buying him stuff.
Exactly what he had to do. Like his expression of love was to send me bags, because for me, mine spent most of his time away from me. I had to look for the money to make sure we survive. So that is exactly.
So, but then at the end of, I think there's good news and bad news. The good news is we know it. The bad news is we don't show it. And I feel like what you want to define as, what people want to define as spending time with their children, like what you want to define as being present is unreal. Like, first of all, parents can't be like friends to their kids. No, they cannot. And that's what these new people think you
exactly. That good parenting is the parent should be your friend. I don't think so. It's very hard for the parent.
You cannot. I thought about the thing. It's only my mom who pulled something cool off with my nephew, whereby the boy messes up, you go hard and you whatever. But that now is parenting, it's not being a friend, because you punish him, shout him, whatnot. Then 1 hour later, feeds you, gives you something nice. Like, okay, calm down, don't cry, come, let's watch TV, cool. But that is, it's more like what they call the carrot and the cane.
Yeah.
It's not being a friend. You cannot be a friend to your kid.
True.
Like my mom, I think, started becoming my friend when
you're adult enough, when
exactly.
you've matured, exactly. When you're almost making like decisions,
exactly,
calling about like some business you want.
Yes. And I think what happens is the only thing that you can do, you have to be a parent. You can't be both a parent and a friend.
True.
But what you can do is be a parent and keep talking to them. Because if you keep talking to them, when they have reached that state, you can let go of the parent.
You just have to share so much experience with it. Yeah, that's what's like important. Because you've seen most of the things. They don't really change. Like everyone at 20 years has gone through the same stuff.
Yes. I think that now the friendship will come automatically because you guys keep talking. It won't even be because you're trying to be a friend. It's because you're parented, you've done your job. Okay, so now we're cool. We laugh now about jokes. But it's not like I'm trying to take it to the club or whatnot. You can't be both, man.
I agree.
You can be there, but you can't be both.
Your mind space. With all this going on, the music, from like now a project like this one, were you feeling like it would be appreciated?
And I was
did
scared.
you put it down? Were you scared?
I was scared. I was very, very scared.
Because there are many songs, man, so that the chances of you feeling, okay, they might like this one, but this one...
Like I told you, I
so
didn't
much.
think about like my car. I was struggling with the track list. I was reducing the songs. Then I literally spent a month figuring out how to avoid album fatigue. Because I called it album fatigue because I'd faced it before. Album fatigue is when you listen to an album and halfway you get tired.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to happen to my album. What's funny is Azao's album has amazing songs.
Oh, I see you speaking it. Now I feel it. Now that I'm listening it, I see. Like, there's when you get tired listening to an album.
Yes. For example, I like Azao's album. They're all great songs. But I asked myself, why was I getting fatigue from the album? Then I realized it was because of too much similarity.
Yeah. Yeah, so fatigue. In the music, you didn't give us that here.
Yeah.
You really did this, man. You did this.
But, Okay, so as I was saying...
You did this. Let me tell you, I feel like my whole conversation changed. The conversation I planned to have with you, I listened to the Soyuji, so I'd structured a few things in my mind, then I listened to the Sorabo. And everything changed. My mind was like, let's just talk about this album.
The album.
Yeah. Okay, but let's go on.
Like, that's not one of the things I really thought about. Actually, I just been thinking right now, and I realized every time I do something, I always think about what could go wrong and how to fix it. So yes, I had these songs I wanted to put. My question is how album fatigue. I literally sat and started wondering how do you deal with album fatigue. I listened to so many albums. And the guys who escape album fatigue do 11 songs to be safe. Because you can reach the end quicker. So you don't have to suffer album fatigue. So it's pretty much a cheat. I listened to Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor too. 22 songs. I think I failed to make it to track 16. The last 5 I've never listened to the songs. That's when I realized it's a thing. Now, Azao's albums only surprised me. I like the songs on Azao's. That's why I couldn't understand. I liked all the songs. So
why? Shock you. Today is our first day. I understand that, and now I'm terming it like to album. When you speak of Lupe, I'm like the biggest fan. Like him, I look at him as my best rapper.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Wayne. Lasers, I could listen to everything on it.
Me too.
But Food and Liquor, it was too much. Now that you say it, I'd be like, how did I get off this guy? Like, I know I went back to the music and tap into its Lupe, but now that's it. I think I just didn't have an explanation, like to call it like album fatigue.
And those are albums you end up stopping halfway, then you come back.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's better if you can do something about that. So that's why I started looking at how do you reset someone's mind, how do you keep someone's mind going. For example, when I realized, what movie? movies also have a similar situation. There are movies where, well, first we just call them boring movies. There's 1.5 movies where you reach 40 minutes and you get tired, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question.
I'm thinking of the movie. I watched it this year in the cinema and I had the fatigue.
Because I have a counter question.
Not Black Adam, but still as well. But
I haven't seen Black Adam yet.
Black Adam. Which other one did it?
Woman King.
No. There's this movie that has, is it, who's this guy in Aquaman? It's Aquaman. It should be Aquaman.
The Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
The Aquaman movie had something of that. Remember, I got tired after a particular
Exactly.
point. Like, Uncharted hit me with that thing. Uncharted, I got tired. But guess what the counter is?
Yeah.
How does Zack Snyder's, the Snyder Cut, go for almost 5 hours and you don't want to stop?
Yeah.
Now that's the counter. That's why I started thinking, how does this guy go
does it?
for more than 4 hours? Because see, everyone thought 4 hours, one movie, I'm not watching. Yet, if you sit and watch, you will make it.
So you can make it. Yeah.
You will go and you won't
yeah.
realize the time is going. I did a movie this, because I'm a creative director anyway. So I did a documentary about last year, a UBL documentary in less than 5 years. So usually when I do documentaries, I try to make them less than 10 minutes. Because, that's how those corporate videos, less than 10 minutes. Now this documentary, I was capturing UBL from the beginning to everything they've achieved now, right? All the departments. It's a 20-minute documentary. I watched that thing 3 times, it felt like 5 minutes. And that's when I realized you can actually beat that fatigue. That's why Snyder's 4.5 5 hour movie
you can see through it, yes.
Exactly.
Very well, by the way. Without seamlessly.
You won't feel it. And now that's the thing. Now that's where this conversation comes. Because anyone who says it's too long is because they put the 4.5 hours in their head and were biased.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So now that's why I started thinking about the fatigue.
To think about it, like I've never with Aura, I didn't. The songs were many when you put but I didn't think about it. Like I just played and listened. Then I kept enjoying. Then I played again. Like I just let it play. Okay, I go back to Zalia a lot.
But at least you spend I spent 2 weeks trying to figure out how to handle that, until it came down to track listing and breaks. Because I think that's what Snyder did. Snyder used chapters to make your brain reset. So that's what I did. That's why I had the interludes. Interludes were meant to reset. I think that's what they did. And any long album, album about 10 songs, should have interludes so that your brain resets. Because if you listen to music, that's why you get tired. Because I realized that's why I got tired of Azawi. Azawi was hit of the same person. I reached a point and I was like, man, this sounds like a best of. Don't forget, they're all good songs.
Yes.
But the brain doesn't get any stopping point. It's like listening to techno. You listen to
I get what you're saying. Like you're listening to hit. You're just going to get off.
Exactly.
You want to blend into
you
it
want
and
to change. Because also, as I didn't change emotions, it was all the same emotion. The whole same emotion. That's the thing. So now I had to take you guys up, take you to ballad, make you depressed, take you to love, take you to rap, and while also giving you a break, reset your brain, transition to another vibe. So now those are all things I was just thinking about to try to change. Man,
I think in this other secular music, the other person who gives me the blends is you see Grenade.
Yes.
Babandana, then he comes that stuff. But he has been doing this by the not just Babandana. All his music, he tries to like come and give you
something fresh.
Yeah, something like fresh, like you feel like he has just reinvented himself. Comes like that. Yeah,
I feel like it's very, very important. You have to care about who's taking your product somewhere. You have to make sure they they enjoy, they want to be there with you. Otherwise, man, like every time someone got the list, like, hey man, 17 tracks. Of course it's not 17, it's actually 14. But then I knew the reason why I thought it was a perfect list. Flex released his album. Flex released his album, Kampala Boy. Yeah. And now I like the album, but I love it. I've loved it through.
There's a lot of music.
The only problem with it was I felt like it was too short because I knew like 3 or 4 of the songs. I knew like 3 or 4 of the singles, I think it was that album, yes. Was it Kampala Boy? Yes, it was Kampala Boy. So which means like for me, my experience felt like a 20-minute experience. Now I also these are things I was learning from people. I'm like, so why does this feel too short? Why does that feel too long? And these are things that I was learning from my peers,
Yeah.
basically. I was learning from why does Flex up. So which means if I had done a 10-track album and people know 4 of the songs, they know Holiday, they know Saga, they know Zinge, that means you're only going to listen to 6 songs? That would be a break. That you can do that while waiting to shoot a podcast. So yes, you listen to the whole album, but what's that? And P.S., I think my album was probably the most expensive album. That's selling it at 50k. Uganda hip-hop album, rather. I don't know who has sold an album more than at 50k.
Do you have the hard copies? Where do we buy?
They've run out, but you can still make. We're trying to make new copies in case people still.
The copy is 50k.
Because they're on Flash. These are branding.
Okay. The Ugandan was how much? Did they sell copies?
And most of those are like 35, I think. At most 25 to 30.
What do you think about Vote?
Which one?
Vote, Voice from the East.
I actually liked it. I think it was one of my favorite. Okay, I haven't listened to the older Navio albums, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I started listening, not Strength in Numbers, Pride, somewhere around Pride. That's when I started really listening to Navio full albums. And I think
I listened to Pride,
I listened to Strength in Numbers.
Not all of it. Vote, I've listened to the whole of it.
Yeah, I listened to Vote. I liked Vote. I honestly liked Vote. I think because all the songs were, I'd never had any of them. So they're all new, I think, except Rare. Rare, which was a bonus song. So everything felt new. That was the first thing. So me, I think it was one of my better Navio albums, personally. But of course, because
okay, now that we're speaking, because I'm going to still ask you how you feel about the Ugandan. That was really dope.
The Ugandan?
I feel like...
I like the Ugandan too.
It's really now branded into... Like
the Ugandan fit well. It had a theme.
Yeah.
I liked the theme because it really had the Ugandan samples going on and everything. So I liked the theme. I liked the atmosphere.
I also like the fact that the myth keeps talking about hustling. So, but now, how much of these guys, the legends, yeah? How much of their music and their lifestyle? Yes, this is the question. Their music and their lifestyle. Influenced, or did it influence, or did you ever feel like you know, like how Meek Mill, was it Meek Mill? I think it was Meek Mill who said we grew up thinking this rap. No, it was Rick Ross. It was Rick Ross. We grew up thinking these guys are that shit, and then we started hanging out with them, and we found out it wasn't all that. So yes.
So before I answer, do you have a charger for it? Type C?
Yeah.
It's like it's a trap. Okay.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on. When I just died.
Okay.
No, it's not. It hasn't dead. Okay.
Is it charging?
No, it's charging. It's charging.
Okay.
So, how much of their music influenced me? How much of their lifestyle influenced me?
Yeah. Oh, if it didn't influence you, like, I also want that, but in like an unorganized format. Like, you know, like it could be you. You just came. You felt like it could have been like the Western one. Now I want you to relate that.
Okay.
The Western, because you're English rapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me answer the answer. But ask for some water. So you know, when a question like this shows up, he was doing water. Okay, so there, thanks. So here's what happens. Let me first say lifestyle. Being around them, is what made me more enter my shell more. That's why I did the Superman and Clark Kent thing more, because I realized that I am not a quote unquote celebrity persona. I'm not a attention. I'm not a come and sit in VIP person. I don't like the maximum attention. I mean, it's cool, but man, the Kayola is where the people are. Let me say, I'm a simpler. Basically, I'm not built for the attention. So lifestyle wise, being around them. For example, the time we went to, I think, Cayenne at the time. Went to Cayenne, and so I think Myth told me, we're gonna sort this out and we prepare for space and we're moving. I was like, okay, cool. So now I started moving in. I was entering, and I remember he even lectured me. Bench me was like, man, come on, at least once in a while, act like you are who you are, you know. But then and I was like, okay, I understand what you were saying, because if you shouldn't start moving like I'm just four. But then I realized in those moments that actually my I don't have the texture. I'm not that person who needs that attention. That actually makes me feel uncomfortable. When I enter a room, I don't enter a room when everyone is seated. I look for the back door, and I sit at the back because I don't want people to see me entering the room. Yeah. I'm one of those guys. I do not want the visibility to hit on me. The spotlight makes me uncomfortable. So that's what happened. By lifestyle, I realized I want to be calmer. Musically, I already knew what I sound like and what I wanted to sound like and what I want the album to do. I already knew that. Now, by listening to all these albums, the Navio albums, the Myth albums, the Lagoon albums, it actually made me happy when I listened to Flex's album, all these albums, and I realized...
Flex has, LG has... Did you listen to Lyrical J?
I haven't listened to Lyrical J.
Yeah, Lyrical J.
I owe him to listen to that. Oh, what
Santa has...
yes, I've listened to Did It For Africa.
Did It For Africa.
I've listened to that one.
Yeah.
But then, listen to all these albums. I like Did It For Africa by the Loud Santana's album. I realized what made me happy was that none of that. Actually, the time I listened to, I think it was after I listened to the Ugandan, I became very happy. I was like, this shit sounds nothing like mine, because I knew what my album was going to sound like at the time. Yeah. Then I was like, let me just wait for Lagoon. And Lagoon has that calm, singing, Drake atmosphere, and I'm like, nothing like mine. I also became happy again. Then I listened to Navio released Vote. I'm like, nothing like mine. So me, I got happy for two things. One, they had their own textures in a way, they had their own identities, but none of these albums sound anything like mine. So I also did not want to sound like them. Not like I do not want to, but they have their own identity. They have their own beliefs, their lyrical atmosphere, they have their approaches. And me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a hardy guy, you know. I'll drink once in a while, and I'm not Myth deep. You know, Myth can get really deep with his lyrics. I do not get that deep. Hey man, my guy can go philosophical, and you're like, hey, you know, and then like, you know, there's where these guys can go hard, and I'm not.
And let me tell you, I have grown up to a lot of the Myth rap, by the way. Yeah. At least to me, at some point, he was that rapper who defined what cool was for me. Like with all these guys rapping in English, it's specifically like I could relate. Also, you know, have you listened to Rick Ross rap? He embodies
luxury.
Exactly.
Like you listen to Rick Ross and you'll order champagne.
Yes, you know that.
You tell them I take back that.
You listen to Rick Ross and you're going somewhere. You want an Uber.
You want an Uber. You drop the phone like I don't want that. Okay, Rick Ross can change your life like this. Rick Ross on the border. You will tip the border guy. You'll add on extra 5K. You're like, man, this is luxury. Rick Ross can a little money. Let's share it. That's a thing. Like,
so the Myth had the cool thing, the Bosivao in the word and all the raps, his verse on Airport Taxi. So to me, that is like a good influence, and now to grow up and work with him was so cool for me. It was dope.
I don't think we when I realize or appreciate that, man. Like, I think it's recent that I realized that, man, I have pretty much worked with most of. I remember when I was a kid, when I was younger, I was in a boutique. I remember telling my boys, like, man, one day I'm going to work with Clear Cut. The guys can get like, man, Jacob, stop dreaming. I know it's crazy right now to realize that I have worked with JB, I've worked with Myth, I've worked with Navio. And because me, this is like I keep saying, we do not appreciate the treasures we have. That's
almost like your mama made it.
But that's mama made it, man. Like I can't say shit. I can't say anything. Like right now when I think about it, man, like
I relate 100 like to that. It's like a mama made it, and it's only you who feels it. Like it's no one else feels it. No one else feels it. It's not about how even them like you are around them, but to you it's mama made it. This is happening.
And yes, because for them or to other people, you're just another guy hanging around because you have a conversation, all that stuff. And then in that moment, you're looking for validation. You were like, yo, this person knows me or something like that. It's crazy, but it's aish.
We are finishing now with what? Just say something. Say something you've not said. The people are listening. But these days we get a lot of streams. By the way, 10K streams on Anchor.
Hey,
no,
Aish, man.
Yeah.
No, but for real, my thing is, it's the two things this year has meant so much to me, and the two things I'm really, really like. The fact that
was it a must that you had to release the album this year?
It wasn't a must, but it was a goal.
Okay.
It was a decision.
Okay. And you've ticked that off, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm just
when did you make this goal? Did you make this goal at the beginning of this year, or
the thing is, I wanted to release it in 2019.
Yeah.
But then COVID happened, and I refused to let it be a COVID album. I refused. I did not have the ability. And me.
By the way, though,
it
should have been a COVID album.
It should have. It was ready. Okay. Also,
you know why?
Why?
Because then there was time for more attention to it.
That is true.
Okay, no, but this is the market.
I wouldn't have made the songs I made now.
Yeah, I agree.
The songs that came at just the right time, the moments that came at just the right time, the feelings that came at the right time, things just worked. Like it was just perfect. It was just perfect. And like for me, man, I'm just like I literally legit say thank you to anyone. Like from my inner glands. Yeah. Like the people have taken a second to like I'll be honest with you, my first fear of releasing the album was I was sure no one was going to listen to it. I didn't want that, so I started working to be worth listening to. My next fear became only rappers listening to my stuff. Remember I used to release songs that's only rappers sharing my songs. The next became only rap circles, only hip hop listeners. That became my next fear because I wasn't trying to make music for rap listeners only. Because I make music. I produce, I have chords, I have singers. That means it's not made for only rappers.
Yes.
So, anyone who has listened to that stuff, like, I feel like I owe them. I know some will say, yeah, I'm the one who created the art, but man, like, me, I feel like I owe anyone who took a second
to appreciate the art.
Yeah, to appreciate and just listen and get. Because it's about listening, it's about hearing. Anyone can hear a song.
True.
But it's about just sitting down and getting it into your ears, because that's why I made it. I didn't make it for money, for sales, for visibility. I made it so someone could look at the art. That was all. And then, of course, for me, the second craziest thing is, man, like, did I work with my idols? I know I just talking about it, but man, I've worked with APAS. That was my friend. I've worked with, he's my friend.
Yeah.
I've worked with Sam. I've worked with Baru. And of course, I've worked with The Myth. I've worked with Navio. I've worked with JB. Like literally right now, I just keep remembering that time I was in Boutique and Miri and all that, and
that conversation.
This conversation, like, man.
And niggas, now you have receipts.
I have receipts. Even they have a copy. Some things have receipts, but if you have a copy of the receipt, you know it.
Have you worked with LG?
What's funny, random fact, I met LG when I was...
shot his video.
You shot his video?
Yeah, with a Stone Edge.
Oh, there's a video. I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, there's a video.
Let's check it out. Is it out?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. We shot it from up there in the rocks, the stones, the hills, then plus the roundabout.
Let me look for it. It's a funny story. I don't think LG remembers it, but I met LG when I was younger, when I was a lot younger, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna quit hip hop." I told him I rapped. I was like a kid, but and I told him I want to rap, what? And he was really just like, man, I want to quit, I need someone to take over. I think I was talking or thinking of quitting at the time. And I don't think he remembers it. But I was like, yo, I think I rapped that day. I was like, yeah, you could be the one or whatever to take this. I remember that stuff. Like I say, like I was
those words right now for him and they're coming from LG, yeah.
Aish. I mean, like this. Last year was shit. I got angry, I got depressed, I got everything. As far as yet, I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money, but I was sad. This year, I've had less money. A lot less money, but everything. I've had everything and more that I could have asked for.
Do you have a figure of how much you've invested in the album?
I think I've spent... Meat becomes cheaper, don't forget, because I produce my own beats.
But value that.
If I value also production,
I want you to value that. Did you sit down and value that? Like, in terms for your own personal validation, like, this is how much in production. Even just time spent and understand this is how much I've actually put in this. This is how much I would pay, because you've worked with producers, you know how much you balance it out in your mind. You're like, this is it. This is a value for the effort put into
value. I think we'd even value like 20 M upwards. I can probably say that comfortably. The value of the album is minimum 20 M. Because I'm looking.
Do you ever feel like we'll get to that point as a country where you can stake that? I've been having music experts here assuring me that banks are now doing that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a guy from David Taiwa from Opus Music Africa. This is a publishing thing.
Yeah.
So he was telling me that they do it for their artists. They use
album.
The thing in the music, it's called Investor what? Fund Invest, something like that. They're doing for them. They have packages like that. So they have this thing also where they put out for the funds to sponsor the album. Yeah, not like you tell us, this is how much it's going to cost me to actually make Ura Part 2. Yeah. But if you guys want to be a part of it, of course you'll earn royalties, like buy some. You like list it like a company. So there's,
that would be so cool. Yeah. That would be so dope.
So there's that in the budget. Of course, I'll buy into Part 2. And see.
Don't make me put it up. I put it up and we do this thing. I'm going to release the album by Jan.
Yeah, man, because I know there's so much work. Like, if the vision for like the next, like we've talked about collaborating with those people. Now let's say you need to throw in quote unquote Baby Cool. Good example. You already want that one. Or someone like, say, Kenzo, who's now appealing to mass markets, yeah?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The budgets for that comes with some terms of like, you're going to shoot videos, budgets for what type of video.
Exactly.
And we've had that issue with Ryonga. We've shot for Ryonga a video we think was so cool. And he has released 2 videos without releasing our video. But it's no harm, like, it's we're also just coming in the market, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
So that, like, doing the work and it fits in will need the money.
That's true. That is true.
Where do you think you're going to get the money to make extensive projects now that you're not signed to a label? Are you just going to keep investing in from like your personal finance but because it's a bit hard though?
It is.
Because you have to survive again, yeah?
It is.
You don't want to be...
I think, like I keep saying, I'm lucky for a couple of aspects. The good thing is right now music is a hobby and I have my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I have a creative agency and that runs me. So as long as I can always save up some money, I can always try to... Of course, at the end of the day, when I make the album, I'm hoping that from the sales and streams and whatnot, I can get enough money to cover my costs.
Of production.
Which, given me producing the song...
It becomes cheaper.
Yes. So basically, I'm only paying the sound engineer and the studio space. So that's where that's the money I would need. Yeah. But that's because it's me.
But investing in your own studio will be cheaper, right? If you want to do this for a passion. Okay, no, a producer is still not. It's catch-22 really.
Okay, depends on what you're going for.
Yeah.
Investing in your own studio depends.
There's no point if it's not going to be a business.
Exactly. If you're just trying to do it in your bedroom, because at least if you're doing your voiceover artist, or if you have these jobs that come in every once in a while, so at least you get your finances back. That's something I think it would be worth it. Because there's always, when I think of investment, that's why I've never thought about building rentals.
Yeah.
Because when you think of investing, do you get your money back and how long? And how long till you start making profit? If you put 200 M into something, how long till you get that 200 M back and start making the profit? Yeah, because like for example, when I bought
real estate, it's crazy. It's crazy forever.
Like when I bought my first camera, I'm lucky it came at the right time. So let's say it cost me 10 M, right? I'm lucky that if I used to rent out cameras, 200K to a camera to shoot. But I bought it literally, it landed, and 2 weeks later I got a retainer to shoot videos, and we're shooting 2-3 times a week. So which means in a week I would have spent about 750K on cameras. So which means in a month that would have been 3M. So basically it made its money back in about 5 months.
In 5 months.
Exactly. Yeah. So by 6 months I was already making profit after the camera. So that's for example,
made sense.
Because I've told someone the same thing about guys who just want to, I want to buy equipment and I start renting and making my money back. Yeah, but now what if you buy it and the stuff just sits? He's like,
There's a big chance it'll sit, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I always tell you, get slowly and find a way to get your money back.
Yeah, really. Also, like this, we started with a mic, and this is not some
motivation. It started with one mic.
Rice and now I have a restaurant. No, we actually started with that FX mic, one mic. We thought we were just going to do audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the sense of video, because now we started in COVID, the first COVID, the first lockdown.
Yeah.
So we're now not getting guests. So season 1 of the podcast is 10 episodes, but with us we're like 3: me, Kenneth, some other friend of mine, Huntington, and another friend of mine, Martin. We're just friends getting together and having conversations.
Yes.
So then we're like, how do we make this sustainable? So the lockdown was tricky. The network, the sound, this guy is using what? This guy is out, these guys are in. The times we used to meet and have the conversations at Bellwether, then SOPs became so strict.
Yes.
So there was no movement. So we're doing it independently. Then we saw the need for the cameras. Then it got interesting. So videos, putting them out there. Then we're like, hey, we can learn this stuff. Then we're like, we can actually make it a business. Let's just invest here and start hiring. Now, and then it became something. Now, the podcast, of course, doesn't make money. You don't expect it to make money.
But
guys have come with other plans of stamping our products with Samona and what not for sale.
I sent someone to you. I don't remember who, but I sent someone to you.
I must have.
I sent a client to you.
I must have then. Yeah. They just didn't give me the reference. I would have, of course, come to.
Because it was some months back. Someone called me.
You did?
Yeah, they're like, do you have a podcast? I'm like,
you did. No, but the one you did, you paid. It's you paid. You've sent. Remember when you sent? Who's this guy who's always at Price? The videographer, my friend. He sent it to me to camera.
No. There's the cameras.
Yeah.
There's that. But I sent an actual podcast person to you. They wanted to give me the job, and if I wanted, I could have whatever. But I was like. Actually, I didn't know. I was in a hurry because sometimes I get under pressure. So I was like, no, there's someone I know and they're very good. I gave them the phone number and so I just moved on.
That matters. So just the fact that you did that to me matters.
Just know one of those jobs you got was from me. I don't know which one. I don't even remember.
I think I know. I did a conversation for someone.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Must have been one of those.
Okay. That. Legacy, what are you trying to leave behind? That's like the closing thing.
I've left it behind.
I'm not enough. You've said everything there.
Like I told you, me, I hope I just inspire the next person to. I just hope I inspire the next person who can. I cannot change or fix or save or dramatize UG hip hop. I definitely can't. But like I keep saying, in the words of Tupac, I hope I inspire the mind that does. Yeah.
Do you do any talent spotting where you find kids underground and you're like, yo, you're good, I can actually get you on a beat?
I always thought about that.
The fun of it.
I always thought about that, but instead what I do is I find people I think are dope and I just do collabs with them. Yeah. There's a time, let me tell you a story. A couple of years back, I saw an artist on Facebook. And he had some nice songs and he had this nice flow. How we blended Luganda with English, it was so dope. And I was working with this producer called Raymac. And he had this nice music and I'm like, this guy is dope. So that time I was signed to a label called Alcatraz. So I'm like, yo, bro, you need to be big. I even talked to his manager at the time. His manager was like, we need to get this guy somewhere. We need to find something for him. So I'm like, so when I spoke to this guy at Alcatraz, I'm like, yo, this kid is dope. You should take him on or something. It's like, man, you see, we're already having trouble with this other artist. So I had a problem with Miller at the time. Some guy called Miller Baby. Yeah, so that it wasn't working. So like, shit. And at the time Myth had Smash. So I'm like, Myth, there's this kid. No, it was Double Trap. One of the two. I'm like, yo, Myth, this new kid, he has this whatever music. You check him out. Myth is like, you're going to have to talk to the producer of the show. And then you can see what they can do. So I'm trying to help this kid get out and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling, I'm failing to get him into any whatever. So what I did was I did a song with him and I let him do more than half of the song, even if it was my song. So it was me featuring him. And
it's a song.
And that was Bully Chiro. Because in my head, I was thinking, I was thinking about how Drake did The Weeknd. Like, I haven't per se pushed him, but because I've done a collab with him, the least I can do is
let him shine on the collab.
Exactly, the access to the access of people I have, be it the tribe,
can appreciate him.
Yeah, so like that was the only way that I realized I could do my a small hand at like helping J Watts any way I could.
Yeah,
because no one, gays were refusing to listen to J Watts, not refusing to listen, but refusing to accept new artists at the time. There were too many, so that was all I did. And from that point,
and he's really good, Bambi.
And he's really good,
really good.
But so, so what's crazy is that's all I did. In my books, all I did.
Is J Watts, by the way.
So technically, all I did was do a collab with him. But from that point, it became easier for everyone to now accept him, be it TV, be it collabos and whatever. And that's when I realized I do not have to.
But you know they got that even from Bulichiro.
Yes.
Then now, I don't know if he's just not producing music. There's like he's supposed to still be as relevant and maybe a Joshua Baraka and stuff. Yeah, in that market, the Lagoon. But there's a way he's escaping it away from it, and they don't. You know, with UG, you might not come back.
You keep quiet too long, they'll forget you.
Exactly.
You move.
They move. And the wave is too big. Yeah, there's another guy that's good.
Ugandas don't forgive. Goodness. Ugandas don't forgive.
Also, do you feel like maybe that's a strategy to be like radio? Release music, release. It doesn't matter because radio was really good, but it still had to really work.
Ask Shiba if it's working. You know, Shiba guys are like, we get it now. You don't just release. Honestly, did you say Rubber Dubber broke the thing? Do you realize Rubber?
Those are relevant examples. When you bring Shiba now, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like at first, you'd think it's a strategy that works, but it doesn't.
It's not guaranteed. Rubber Dubber is this one song every 4 years. You're sure Rubber Dubber's career is dead. He gives you Love Potion. You think his career is dead, is gone. It means you my body. That guy, like he's a guy who just can't die. So now I don't know the formula, man. I don't know the formula. Uganda is just it's something. Uganda is something.
What do you want to say to NTM?
NTM,
yeah. Tinder movement.
Nice. I never thought about how to say NTM. NTM. Those are good peoples, man. They did their thing.
How did you collaborate with them?
How did I collaborate with them?
Were you part of the Tinder movement?
No, I was not. You
always just came in as a cool kid who's going to rap on our beats.
I was never a cool kid. I was just the kid who works. That's all. That's the difference. No, I was there by affiliation to Dustville and Price.
Dustville has produced, man.
The Dustville has done his thing. No,
Barrow as well.
Barrow's Jacob.
Yeah, I've seen this boy really start from scratch.
Barrow, but
to winning awards, to really making music. Then I saw that thing he did where he went to the taxi and made.
Yeah. Making TikToks. Yeah. No, Barrow's done his thing. Dustville gave us Price, gave us Abasa, gave us Cosine.
Yeah.
Gave us Cohen.
Hey, that's
Barrow. That's Barrow. Sorry, that's Barrow. Cohen JC's, I think Barrow recorded that. Barrow recorded Adrenaline music.
Yeah. But Sam though. Sam was also really done.
Sam is one of those quiet guys who puts in work.
Sam has put in the work.
Sam puts in so much work.
Sam Cause and Effect.
Cause and Effect.
Who else has produced?
I was under the Cause and Effect song.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me what you would say to NTM.
No, man. NTM.
What do you think about groups, though? Hip hop groups and ciphers.
The ciphers are dead now. They got played out. But I think rapping is still fun. So it's going to be dope. But I think it shouldn't be. The
do you want to do it the younger way?
Which one?
For it to be relevant of making it. You see, it looks like he's making Zex. Rickman.
But you see, Rwanga is doing what we were supposed to do 8 years ago.
Yeah,
that time I told you guys went quiet and stuff. That's what Rwanga is bringing back now. What Rwanga is doing is what all rappers should be doing. Instead of, like I kept giving an example. Between, I think, 2015 and 2020. How many English rappers did collab with the mainstream? With mainstream dancehall guys?
Between what?
Between, let me say 2015 and 2020.
Between 2015 and 2020. No. I think the only people featured there were... When did Mr. DJ come out? Before then, right?
Way, like 5 years ago. The only thing I can think of, besides me, of course, Navio did the stuff with Cindy. I think Myth did Eriso. Was it?
Myth did. Then maybe because Herbert is so new, but Myth has done that. It's also done...
But who else? Like, when you think about clubs like dancehall guys, mainstream, the Fikfa Maker...
who has done a Fikfa Maker?
You see what I mean? Like, honestly, because me, I did with Voltage Music, and then I did with Natty Nathan and DJ Cream.
Yeah.
And
then Santana.
And then Santana, yeah. Taka didn't do. Did Taka do? I feel like it did.
Oh, no.
Taka
stayed cool.
Code did before that when he did the song with APAS. That was like 2014, I think.
APAS and Petrobas?
No, APAS. Okay, there's APAS and Petrobas. Yeah, but then there's APAS and Code. But you see how few they are.
Yeah, you can even just you have to like remember and pick them out.
They can fish them out in your two hands. So now Rionga is trying to normalize that again. And I think that's what is necessary to normalize hip-hop again. That's why I'm optimistic. I feel like people are going to go someplace. Rionga continues this shit, Bantu Pipes, then they see they keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
So they did a song with Tip Selector, Jeffrey Wind. I guess don't like John Black's verse, but anyway.
Who is your most promising artist? Who is that one child you're looking at and saying, this person is going to shock Uganda? From music perspective, and you've listened to like the production and you know that they're giving it their time. Who's that person that's not you, that you feel
people have already
they're working hard and it should pay off?
I feel like people already know Dennis now.
They don't. I feel like he's not Twitter. Yeah, he's
not Twitter. Okay. The thing is, I can't say.
And that's the other thing. Before I understood that Joshua had the Empire deal to like get the streams up, I thought this is a strategy. Like, if this circle knows you now, they can get you. But then I was now comparing. I went back to Isabel's album on YouTube, and not that the streams matter so much, but then I was looking at how good the music is and how very few people have just listened to it, like, regardless. But then he has collabs with people like Joshua Baraka, so you'd think all those people would tap into that market. So that's when it made sense that, okay, now there's a publisher that's it's just not the Twitter crowd, like he wouldn't be this big. I thought it was just individual effort and guys appreciated and it spread. But no,
I think that's why people asking when's the music coming to YouTube. I'm like, is it coming?
I have seen a lot. Guys are very. When I was playing it for guys, were like, is it on YouTube? I was like, man, I'm watching this man's music on YouTube. It's not there. You have to have the videos and stream. Give me money, man.
How many shows you have to get on YouTube to start making money, man?
True.
No, but okay. So who do I think? Every time I think I haven't listened to too many new artists in a while. Because the answers I would have had were from like 1 year, 2 years ago. I've always bet.
Yeah, from 1 year, 2 years ago. But maybe 1 year, 2 years ago had J Watts, right? But
J Watts is a bit like 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, 2 years.
Because so much changes. Because don't get the biggest thing is this: in the early 20s, the energy is high. The late 20s, the energy starts going down, especially for urban music. So the question is, who can survive 4 years in music in their 20s? That is the ultimate question for urban music. Can you make 4 years, 5 years in your 20s? You can have, because that is honestly the question.
Yeah.
Because I think Wanda's figured his crowd, he's seen, he's doing his thing. The homie hasn't peaked. I feel like the homie can do a lot more. And I think he's delaying. Not delaying, but I think he's like, he hasn't peaked. He just needs to start putting more stuff out. I don't feel like he hasn't released the song.
I like Wanda, but I feel like I will first have to listen to a whole project.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, I need to see that first.
I see that.
I need to see the energy in that. Because I appreciate so much the stage performance alone. It's crazy. Like, he knows how to move it. He would go up. I've been on a school tour with him, a random one, and I've seen how the energy, like you really see, you'll get it. But now I want, because I think I've been lied so much by these things he's doing of rapping on the beats and stuff. I want to listen to his
An actual project can.
Can't sit in
the difference between an artist and a rapper.
Yes.
Until you create songs.
Great. That's what I understand. I was like, okay, I'm convinced with everything else, but I want this.
But he has songs. Research.
Yeah.
He has songs.
And it's good. Like you really see the intellect. Yeah. Like he's appealing to a market, but he's communicating and he has a style.
Yes. Yes, he does.
So the organization is there. You see that.
I feel like he has what he needs. I feel like he has what.
And people are appreciating him. Yeah, so blanks and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think
so maybe if that doesn't die out,
he just has to. Right now, I think he just shouldn't stop. Whatever he's doing, he should just keep going. The numbers will keep going up. The visibility will keep going up. I honestly, he can't go wrong unless he stops. He's someone who shouldn't stop, whatever it is.
Man, if Benazir stopped.
And Benazir stopped, so you never know.
Yeah.
But one is going hard. Hey! That's easily the most visible rapper on social media. Easily. There's no more visible rapper on social media than Wanda.
That's true.
Like he should. I don't even know how he keeps getting his content.
That's
like I'm like, again? What is again? Like he is one guy who should just stop. And that's why I cannot say he's the one person I'm looking forward to, because I feel like it's like me trying to get on that bus. The bus has gone. He's good. He's gonna be good. The homie needs to put out more music because that boy has bars. Right.
Last thing, which album do you think is going to win album there on the Grammys? Rap album there. There's Good Did It, is Pusha T.
Who did it by who?
Good Did DJ Khalid. I don't think it's a good album. Yeah,
that's good album. Yes, not. Pusha T, I didn't listen to it. Which album was nominated?
I also genuinely feel that Wayne has a better verse than Hov.
I think Hov's verse is just long.
Yeah.
Man, the thing is long.
It's just long, and it's also just like, okay, we have this embedded respect we must feel for Hov, but I feel like that's so much now.
But, and I tried to listen to that album. But you were talking about album fatigue. I got verse fatigue. I got tired.
I'll shock you with God Did. I had one listen and I just kept to the song God Did.
That's it.
But I feel like Khalid is all the same.
But that's where I also stopped.
Yeah.
God was my last song, I think. Because I like the song with Eminem and Kanye.
Yeah. I liked Eminem and Kanye as well. Yeah.
But God, I think that's where I stopped.
Everything else sounds like that's the last Khalid album with new guys. Yeah, that's all the Khalid that can be there.
Jay-Z rapped so long, I got tired of the album. Like that guy's verse was so long, I was like, I guess the album's done now. I think it was track 3, but I was done. I'm like, okay, let's get the next album. I was done. What other albums?
There's of course Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale.
No.
What do you mean?
It's okay. I feel like it's an okay album. What other album is there?
There's 4. Pushers. What do you think about Pusher?
Funny, I didn't listen to it.
You don't listen to Pusher because you're Christian?
No, I don't listen to Pusha because he's gonna rap selling cocaine over kilos. I'm gonna listen.
That's the same question I asked you.
It's gonna be the same stuff. I'm gonna like cocaine or the white. I'm like, okay. So what? You sell cocaine? I don't care. I don't sell cocaine. My guy is so chaboos. I don't get
it. It's non-relatable to you.
I don't relate to his stuff, man. Like it's way too far.
It's funny how this was supposed to be the question. I even skipped it from the conversation. Like, do you feel like but I brought it up from like the lyrics when I was asking the message. Like, when I brought in the God thing, do you feel like the market just can't appreciate such message? It has to go with what will kick in beer sales.
It makes you uncomfortable. People are uncomfortable talking about God these days. I feel they are more,
and all the self-care, but it just doesn't have to be good. Yeah, you see there's like online there's an attack on motivational speakers, on motivational stuff.
You know, that's why you see, like when they talk about rappers, like they realize that on social media, when they call a rapper corny,
Yeah.
do you realize the collection, Logic, Dax, it's always people who just give a positive message that are described as corny. A simple positive message. If KRS One, because he's a legend, they don't call him corny. But he was they literally called the man the teacher.
Yeah.
Go to school and read your books. Now, if someone today said, kids, go to school and read your books, will be described as corny. Nas literally did a song, I know, on that theme. And gays are just biased. They do not want the good, the positive stuff these days, I guess. It makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah, it explains a lot. People really genuinely feel the fastest way you get rich now is OnlyFans. They don't want to work. Hey, this is it.
You wait. Trisha T is going to start rapping about making OnlyFans with kilos. This is
it. No. Unless you have to ask. This is the conversation. This is the end.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thanks
for coming.
Thank
you for the album. I appreciate it deeply.
Thank you for listening.
I'll still share it. Yeah, I'll come back on Twitter and make noise for it now that I've understood it. I'll come from a point.